Of Exotic Services is St. Louis's first concierge vehicle service center. Alex David's team is passionate, certified technicians. They have industry-leading tools and equipment. They do it all. They pick up and deliver your car hands-free. Plus, they have elite detailing service, customized PPF wraps and tinting, and inspection and titling assistance. White Glove also specializes in logistics and storing options, vehicle listings, and consignment. White Glove Exotic Services. Check them out at cancelthisshow.com. Kathy O. Big Strick, owner of Experience Real Estate Partners with eXp, has been one of St. Louis, Missouri's highest selling groups for 26 years running. In that time, Kathy and her team have successfully assisted an incredible 4,000 families. So if you're thinking about buying, building, or selling, be sure to put Kathy's group and their experience to work for you, and you can expect to be moved. Just give her a call at 314-276-SOLD. That's 314-276-7653, or find her online at experience-re.com. Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, if you don't know, is a family-owned business that has been around since 1994, serving some of the best chicken wings in town, no joke. Also known for their fresh burgers, pizza, and incredible smoked meat. Top-notch happy hour specials are included, plus live music every Friday and Saturday. Oh yeah, you can also enjoy their spacious heated covered patio. It's Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, 18,000 Chesterfield Airport Road.
Carroll House has the largest selection of solid wood with the hottest new styles. Real furniture that's built to last, like our solid bedrooms, living rooms, and dining from Kincaid. Our volume enables us to save you a lot of money, especially during our solid wood sale. Plus, get free financing, fast free delivery, and free in-home design. So for solid wood, sweet styles, and solid service since 1964, shop over 3 football fields of furniture at Carroll House. Because you like nice things.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi guys. Can anybody hear me? You guys can. Okay, I can't hear myself today, buddy. Sorry about that. There we go. You can turn me down just a little bit. That's all right. There we go. It's a Monday. Good morning, everybody. Scotty Gherkin on the boards. We've got mystery producer. We've got producer Tim. We've got Lizzie Sparks. We've got Tabitha Hassel. I'm Vic Faust. Eric Johnson on his way in, everybody. Happy President's Day. February 20th, ready to rock and roll. It's Cancel This. CancelThisShow.com. As always, share the show. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Remember, you can get all of our original content on CancelThisShow.com. CancelThisShow.com. Appreciate everybody jumping in. Hopefully the weekends were good. We have a fantastic show for you again today. Well, guys, our 9 o'clock hour is packed. 9 o'clock. Lizzie, I like how you say her last name because I'm bad at it with Chanel Rion.
Yes, it sounds very fancy.
I like to say Rion, but it's Rion?
Rion.
Rion.
Yes.
Chanel Rion.
Yes.
If I said Chanel Rion, will she laugh?
She would love it. You
Chanel
can say
Rion.
it just like that.
Make
Chanel
it
Rion.
fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Chanel Rion from OAN. She'll be joining us live at 9 o'clock this morning, talking about the White House, talking about D.C., all the behind the scenes of things that are going on there. Do we hear a back? Do we
There
hear an
is
echo?
an echo.
Hey, Scotty, we've got an echo, man. Sorry about that, buddy. We got an echo that we can all hear. So anyway, she'll be on at 9 o'clock. Then coming up at 9:30.
Lizzie.
We've got 9:30 situation going on with Alex David from White Glove Services. He's coming. We're gonna join him live from his facility. So we're taking some things to a different level when it comes to promoting some of our advertisers, our sponsors, catching them in the action. He's got a really, really badass facility. So he's going to show you. He came on the show before to show you everything that they do, not just exotic high-end cars or taking care of your cars, but helping you find cars. You name whatever kind of car with service, They do it. He'll be joining us live at 9:30 from inside his studio, bouncing from place to place.
Which I've been there. It's beautiful.
I haven't been there. I know I got to get over there.
It's beautiful. There's every kind of vehicle you can imagine. It literally, anyone who loves cars, it would be your dream just to go up there and take a look. But they can do everything from detailing to arranging to have it wrapped to mechanical issues to they even lift Jeeps. I mean, they do everything there.
And of course, Lizzie's in studio. She's doing her best to get to all of your comments this morning. We get so many comments and we love it. We love your interaction. So now we've got Lizzie in studio trying to make sure she's bringing the best of those comments forward. I guess that's a job, Lizzie.
That is. It's so much fun. The listeners are so interactive and they say such intelligent things. Well, most of the time, every once in a while, we'll have, some jackal on.
Well, that's
But
kind of
they're
like
great.
us.
Yeah. For sure.
Sometimes we go off the deep end.
For sure.
Right, Tabitha?
Yes, we do.
Hey, and then we got a lot of topics we're trying to get into. CNN's Don Lemon, if anybody cares, suspended for a day. That's done. Austin police really struggling right now. Their city was taken over by drag racers this weekend.
I saw that.
And they don't have enough police to deal with it. Defund the police. That's what happens. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Thank you very much, Austin City Council and people who made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Tabitha, you told me Meta's getting ready to test monthly subscriptions, maybe for about $12 a month.
Well,
there's
going to be different levels of subscription depending on what you want. You know how a lot of people, and I believe one of your accounts has one, you get the little verified check mark next to it.
Oh, yeah.
That says you're legit. Well, now they have a new service coming up where if you send in your ID and they can confirm that it's truly you on your driver's license, they will give you the verified check mark. So it's not going to be all that special anymore. But to have that verified check mark, if you want to keep it, you have to pay for that service every single
So that's
month.
not that huge of a story.
It is for some people because there's a lot of people out there who have the check mark and have had it for a long time, such as yourself. And now you're going to have to pay a monthly fee. So this really affects you.
Who
personally.
cares? I don't know what I have blue and not anymore, but whatever. We'll talk about Ron DeSantis. I don't think and I want to wait for Eric. I don't think there's any doubt he's running for president now. It's going to be official. He's kicking off a tour. We'll talk about that. I'd love to start. There's a bunch of Biden news from the weekend. More proof that there may be Biden 1 and 2, maybe 3. We'll get to some of those pictures in a little bit, but
it's always like, which one is this?
The freaking president didn't go to Ohio.
No, he didn't.
There was a catastrophic event, but where is he this morning, Tabitha?
Of course he's in Kiev.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Ukraine.
Well, yesterday they made an announcement that he was going to be going to Europe, but they didn't say Ukraine. They said Europe. And I remember thinking then, and I had some snapshots of him heading onto the helicopter, which was going to take him to Air Force One. And because I remember thinking, like, which Biden is this? And it looked like maybe the original Biden, not the fake Biden we're so used to seeing. And I'm like, well, of course they want the real Biden to go to Ukraine so that he can go back and talk about Burisma and all of the underhanded deals he's made. So the real Biden, I believe, has come out of hiding.
Would the real Joe Biden please stand up?
Well, they can even now do AI with him. Who knows? Maybe he's not even over there. And then Ukraine and Zelensky just has him all with his face with computerized now.
You know what? You never know. And it's a shame he didn't, as far as I know, he did not go to Ohio unless he stopped in. We haven't seen the coverage of it.
I haven't seen any coverage of him in Ohio.
But of course he's in Ukraine because guess what? He's the only person on the planet who hasn't been there yet. I mean, okay, this is a war-torn country, right? Russia's so big and bad that they're just lobbing bombs and missiles at Ukraine all day long. But yet we have our president who can safely make his way into Kiev like so many other world leaders have. I mean, come on.
Well, something happened too that you and Lizzie were speaking about before the show began today regarding this whole trip, theater, show, movie that we're seeing when it comes to, quote, sirens going off that didn't time out perfectly. That kind of equivalated to I guess when we saw the first reports coming out of Ukraine, when you had reporters be standing in front of like 100 body bags, and then one of them sits up, like brushes itself off, and then lays back down and puts the body bag back over its head for show. What happened with the sirens going off that didn't match the timing?
I think it's just theater. I mean, it's all theater. Of course, they want it to seem like, oh my God, Biden's here. They're under such threat. We're going to turn the sirens off because, oh my God, he's risking his life to come here. It's all theater. I mean, but first of all, Ukraine has, for the most part, only the East region has been bombed. Now, there have been some random bombs that have taken place in Kiev, but usually only after some crazy decision has been made. Let's say the United States or parts of Europe will make some announcement that, hey, we're sending 31 Abrams tanks over. Well, they'll lob a couple of bombs over towards Kiev. But for the most part, there's been nothing going on in Kiev.
Yeah, you're watching cancelthisshow.com. We're trying to get everybody back into the show, cancelthisshow.com right now. Vic Faust, Tabitha Hassel, Eric Johnson, Lizzie Sparks, and we got Scotty on the boards getting things kicked off. Good morning, Eric. You coming in, the microwave ready to heat things up. Hopefully your weekend was pretty good. Did you see all the Biden stuff going on?
Yeah, I'm impressed.
He's a world traveler now.
I'm impressed. I'm going to be fair. American president, war zone. Zelensky. You can have thoughts about Zelensky and Russia and all that stuff, whatever you want. But I have to separate him into buckets. I do think that his first stop should have been right there in the middle of Ohio. I agree with Tabitha. But you wake up on a Monday and you see that some C-130 landed in Ukraine during an era where cruise missiles are flying around. And I'm impressed. That's cool to me. An American president, whether it's Biden or Reagan or whoever it is, I'm okay with that because I do back Ukraine. I don't care what anyone says. Russia walking over. I'm done with you for a second.
Do you back the president? Because there's a big difference.
Don't look at me.
Well, hold on.
There's a big difference when you say you back Ukraine.
No, I agree, but let Eric finish. That's because
it's all
you helped me realize that I need to look from the Russian standpoint. I want to hear Eric's point on this.
All we do on this show is talk what's visceral, what comes up, your first thought. When I see Biden, when I see a guy that has the American flag pin on his lapel, even though he might not want to have it there, I'm like, that's okay. All right, the varsity squad has made it over there. We bitch about it, and all of a sudden there he is. Okay, cool. I'm not for Russia walking over the borders. They're not their borders.
You have lost.
I'm not for Mexico walking over our borders. I'm not for Canada walking over our borders. I would like to see France not walk over to England's borders. We are a sovereign world right now. Stop it. Okay, so that's cool. That's my 2 cents. Now, should this clown have gotten in Air Force One and landed right in the middle of Ohio? Yeah, of course he should have. Should he have said, FEMA, get your little trailers out there and start setting up camps over there? Yeah, absolutely should. But the first sight of my morning this morning, Lizzie, how you doing, by the way? You look very nice today, I must say.
Thank you so much.
First thought is I'm not having this visceral reaction like Tabitha and going, oh, for the love of God, Putin is really going to hate this. No, I didn't feel that way at all. It's not like China where it's like they're laughing at us for blowing up their balloon.
I didn't say Putin was going to hate it. I think Putin could care less about what the United States does.
It's a bitch slap
at this point.
It's a bitch slap.
Oh, does he Biden the clown over there? Putin doesn't care about Biden the clown. But Eric,
I might agree with you on that one.
I want to go back.
I might agree with you on that one.
I'm going to say before I start this, you have lost your freaking minds. I have no idea what you smoked.
But
over
we're
the
allowed.
Weekends.
Yeah, we're allowed.
I love you, Eric, but you have lost your freaking minds.
This is near and dear to Tabitha's heart, by the way. If you get in the middle of Russia and Putin and Ukraine,
it's not about.
You better not go. It's like me trying to talk about polka music. I don't know the first thing about polka music.
And to make sure I pacify Vic before we get started too far,
what happened?
I'm not saying Putin's a great guy.
Oh yeah,
you
are pacifying.
No one is a good guy in this situation. There are no good guys. But I think Zelensky is the worst guy. I think he is the puppet, a dancer, a comedian who dances around in the little
God
black
forbid.
tutu.
That's who was voted in. They voted this cat in. He's got the job. It's in their constitution not to remove him. I mean, it's not like get rid of the comedian and put in a general.
The entire country is corrupt. We established.
Maybe. You're probably right.
Zelensky as the president of Ukraine so that we could hide the biolab, so that we could hide the sex trafficking, so we could hide all of the money laundering and all of the money that was going back to maybe as far back as the Clintons, maybe back to the Bushes. I don't know, but for sure to the Biden family. There's no question about it. We know, we have proof that the Ukraine was used as a money laundering operation for the Bidens. So it's no surprise, I'm sure, to Putin to see Biden there. I don't think he cares where that clown goes, quite honestly. I don't think anyone does. But here's the thing, Eric, and what I want to go back to you saying you support Ukraine. I think we all support.
I just don't like 80-year-old grandmothers being bombed out of their houses.
Well, then the 80-year-old grandmas
What are they
shouldn't
supposed to
be
do?
picking up a gun and fighting, because if you pick up a gun and you start fighting, guess what? You're probably going to be shot back. And when it comes to
That's a weird thing to say.
No,
That's a weird
but
thing.
it's true.
I mean-
In this country, if we were invaded by China and our government said,
Let's say it's Mexico. Let's
Well,
say it's our
whoever.
border
we're
country.
already being invaded by Mexico. We're not doing a darn thing about it.
but
if-
not the same way.
It's not in the same way. But if our government stood up and they told us, hey, American citizens, if you want to keep your sovereignty, if you want to keep your country, if you want to keep your freedom, then you all better go, men, women, and children. We're going to provide guns for you. We're going to give you a weapon. We're going to show you how to use it. Go out and fight for your country. Well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see civilians killed. You're going to see 80-year-old grandmas laying dead in the street. You're going to see 12-year-olds laying dead in the street. Because guess what? If you think Russian soldiers are going to say, oh, they're shooting at us, that 80-year-old grandma or that 12-year-old little girl, but we can't shoot back at her because she's elderly or because she's a child. No. And if it happened here in this country and they told us to take up arms and shoot back, men, women, and children, guess what? We're going to lose a lot of civilians as well. I feel terrible for the
Where are they
Ukrainian
supposed to
people.
go? I don't
I
know.
really do.
Where's an 80-year-old farm lady supposed to go with their
The
90-year-old farm husband?
the whole thing is a sham, Eric. The fighting is in the eastern region. The majority of Ukraine has seen no war activity whatsoever. Nothing. That's why Poland shut them off and said no more. There's plenty of areas in your country that haven't seen a single bomb, a single missile. And
Well-
why aren't you migrating there?
Well, I was hoping we wouldn't go down this path, but we would. You never know where we're going to go with it. The bottom line is President Biden decides to go to Ukraine, especially after comments last week come out that he was concerned about paying for Ukraine all the way into 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now when it came into Social Security type of deals, when we have our own problems in the United States. His meeting with Zelensky in the midst of not even going to Ohio. And by the way, that situation has not stopped in Ohio. And over the weekend, there were other plants that were, quote, on fire. You can't make this stuff up. Tabitha, I agree with you, and I agree with you, Eric. I do. The problem is there are no winners in that whole situation. There aren't.
There's no winners at all. And the thing that bothers me about all of it is if he wants to be in Ukraine and give money, okay, I don't have a say about that. But he literally said no to giving money to the people in Ohio.
Yeah.
He said no. Those are our people.
Oh,
That's
sure
my
that-
problem.
I'm sure
now
the
we
comment-
can rail on Ohio. I'm totally fine with that. No pun intended. No
But
pun intended.
we just gave $100
no.
We
Yeah.
just gave $100 million to Turkey over their
I didn't
earthquake
see that.
efforts. $100 million.
Yeah, but
we
where
can't
is
give
the
any money to
media
Ohio?
and the outrage? I mean, we see the Don Lennon outrage this morning. We see outrage all over the place, but these poor people in Ohio, I'm sick to my stomach. They've been in 2 days. That little town will be forgotten.
Well, they
in
were
2
offered
days,
$1
no
million.
one will talk about it. I don't think that's true.
No, it is true. Every family was offered. They've come out and spoken about it. Norfolk Southern offered every family in that town $1 million per household. And from what I understand, they turned it down, but with reasonably so. But it's not just the town of East Palestine. Where's it going to go from
No.
there? It's going to
No, it's
affect people
worse than
all the
that.
way down the Mississippi.
Let's start on the bottom rung. The damn water table is contaminated to the nth degree. You have politicians shaking sticks around in the water with oil and all this dioxin crap coming out of the ground. Where do you think that's going to go?
Well, but
Just
Trump
that
is
alone.
going there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trump's going to go there.
Because someone has to.
And you know
Someone
what?
has to step up.
And you know what? Trump's just going to polarize this topic even more. Now, I don't say that's a bad thing, but it's going to happen. Trump is now going to make the Democrats put their little sticks in the ground even farther. Oh, yeah, you know that FEMA thing? Yeah, let's see if your boy Trump can handle that by himself. Oh, you want more EPA coverage down there? Yeah, I think everything looks good here now, Vic. I think we're done here. Go drink your water.
Well, Trump may be doing that and trying to get, I guess, more publicity. But you want to talk about publicity? Here's where it is, and I think we have finally reached the point where Ron DeSantis is making it official, unofficial, that he will be running for president. He is kickstarting today I guess you can call it a national tour of supporting police. And guess what? First of all, this is the governor of Florida going on a national campaign to support the police in democratically held cities.
Here we go.
Chicago area suburbs, DC area suburbs, New York area suburb. If that doesn't say, hello, look at me, I'm running for president in 2024, I don't know what does, because there would be no reason for the governor of Florida to go out nationally and start doing this campaign. There is no doubt 100% Ron DeSantis is running for president, because why else would he be going on a nationwide tour to support police?
Bindi on the chat line says that Soros is backing DeSantis.
No, what happened last... Well,
excuse me?
No, here's what happened.
I've heard that quite a bit, but I don't know
on Friday, news was released. Thanks, Bendy. Was released that George Soros says he's backing Ron DeSantis in Florida. Now, it didn't say he was backing him for president. It said it was backing him in Florida. Whatever that means, I don't know. But we all know that if George Soros is saying, well, I'm backing a Republican, something weird, something, quote, nefarious is going on. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. There is no way in hell Ron DeSantis and I didn't see any quotes from Ron DeSantis.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's break this down.
Accepting a George Soros backing.
Well, wait a minute. Because we got, if this is true, if there's George, so wait a minute. So what you're saying is there was a George Soros post or something that said, I'm backing Ron DeSantis in Florida. So there's not?
They mean monetarily.
Okay. Maybe this is, I don't know what this means. Maybe he hates Trump so much. He's like, this is the cat that's going to win the Republican. Or maybe he's trying to muck it up so much that he wants DeSantis and Trump going head on head so they destroy each other. I would love to know.
It would make sense.
But now you're Ron DeSantis and you receive this phone call. It says, hey, you got a phone call. Yeah, who is it? It's George Soros.
He's not taking a phone call from George Soros.
But let's just say,
it'd be like him taking a phone call from Cancel This.
But just think about this for a second. Mr. Governor, can you come in here for a second? Yes, I can. You just had you have $1 billion at your disposal right now to go run for president. Imagine that for a second. So let's say it's $500 million. Say it's $30 million. What do you do with the money? That's a lot of cash.
Okay, but you have to remember, from the comment line, and I did not see this, Aaron is saying that basically, I guess Soros made a statement in which he wants DeSantis and Trump to fight over.
Yes,
of course.
Over the role,
I think yes,
which makes sense. But think about 100%. This: Soros backs a lot of Republican candidates.
Name them.
I'm not going to name them specifically.
I mean, I'm seriously.
I don't know
because you know what it is. He backs them through super PACs. And he sends his money into different people. And you can go out there and research it and find the names. I can't recall them specifically. And a lot of these people don't even know. Well, a lot of them don't even know that they're being backed by Soros. The money might come from Ford.
How could you not know?
It could, because it goes through super PACs in different places. You know, just like when Eric Schmidt, he was funded by a super PAC that was ran by Schumer. I mean, or McConnell. Sorry, McConnell. I mean, these things happen.
Money. Dollars equal votes. It's the first ballot that you ever have to acquire in order to win an election. So if you have a guy named George Soros, who he's not going to win any beauty contests. He doesn't want to talk to you about, makeup tips. He wants to talk to you about cash. And if this guy walks in a room, and this is interesting, I didn't know this. You guys just filled me in today. If this cat walks into a room and says, I want to give you money, and I'll even tell you why I want to give you money. Do you not take it? Because now you shut down shut down every debate in the country.
Eric, he's not taking any money from George Soros.
I think you're right.
It would be over for him.
It would be over for him as a Republican. It would be over, done. See ya. Thanks for coming out.
Okay.
Donald Trump, welcome to the Republican primary victory. They have just forfeited, and you are now walking on to go take on one of the three Bidens. And that's Biden 1, Biden 2, or Biden 3. I'm not talking about Hunter Biden.
What do you think will happen if DeSantis does decide to run? Because Trump has been making some big missteps.
I mean,
lately.
just here,
Trump's gone. I love Trump,
about this a lot.
But we talk about this is 1 million trillion gazillion % agree with Nikki Haley. Our politicians are too old. I 100% agree with her. It's not that the movement's too old. It's not that we're rhinos. It's that the people leading us, Mitch McConnell.
And we'll be talking about Nikki Haley, Don Lemon situation after we get done with the DeSantis. That'll be our next topic.
But when she walks in and she goes, look, I can square being against Trump and for Trump in the same breath. I can too, Tabitha.
Everybody can.
I can too. I think he was a great president. I can go down a laundry list of what he did good in this country. But the times that he sits on his toilet and he's tweeting bad about people, women, men, whatever.
Toilet tweeting?
How do you know
Yeah.
he's sitting on his toilet?
Whatever.
Can you imagine Trump sitting on the toilet tweeting?
When he starts doing
No,
that,
I don't
then
want to.
you get this. It's like having a beautiful steak in front of
I'm
you.
fine with this.
It's like having a beautiful steak in front of you, and then off to the side, the dumbasses in the kitchen put asparagus there, and then the asparagus juice goes into the steak, and you're like, I can't eat the steak anymore.
Eric,
You haven't had the right asparagus.
Shut up.
But-
It's never. There is no
gross.
such thing as a right asparagus. By the way,
Will
blasphemous.
I will
over
make
here.
you some good asparagus.
No,
will
you won't.
DeSantis
It will
be
never happen in my lifetime. Sorry. Go ahead.
Will DeSantis be as good of a president as President Trump? Because
Yes.
that one thing
Absolutely.
one thing about Trump, he was a phenomenal president. He maybe said some things some folks didn't like.
Not good.
I didn't like
Not
everything he said.
Not good.
But you know what? It was him. He was real. It wasn't a speechwriter. Whenever those tweets came out, you knew that was him. And I'll tell you what, he was very transparent. Democrats want to say they're transparent. No, Trump was transparent. And that's what people don't like about him.
Well, here's what DeSantis is doing. His camp said it's all what it is. It's a law enforcement rally in each of these cities, New York, Chicago, and DC. Ron DeSantis going national, support police. Law enforcement rally to send a message back to some of our elected officials that the laws that they've enacted in the state of New York are not working. Specifically, the bail reform laws. And we know about those in St. Louis. And it's putting my members, detectives, and cops in danger, as well as the public. This is the New York City police chief. It's gone too far to the left over the last couple of years. So Ron DeSantis, out of nowhere, going on a tour, which kickstarts his campaign.
Do you
for
think
president.
that the media will chew him up as much? Like Donna's on here saying, and I agree with her, that the media hates
But hold
Trump,
on.
still does. Will they like DeSantis?
No,
any
it's
better?
not that they'll like him, but here's the deal, guys. DeSantis has proven he's got a track record of being able to talk to the media directly and getting the soccer moms to cheer him on. He says the right things to the media. He speaks in rhetoric, right? So he invites them to say, here's what I'm doing. I'd like to hear what your suggestion for critical race theory in our schools. Let me hear your suggestion on us having teachers. And he points at them. And I don't know if you've go watch some of his press conferences, Debbie. I think you would like him. He points at the reporters. He points at the reporters and he says, I want you to tell me, what should I do about a teacher telling a 8-year-old kid that he can transgender or he can have a sex change operation? What would you like me to do about it? He has a perfect niche about talking to the media. Trump didn't have that. He was fired.
Because look what the media did to him,
If Trump
Eric.
had a
Come
bow
on.
and arrow with an arrow that was on fire, he would have shot it at these people.
All right, but that's just messed up because Trump never had an opportunity with the media. You know, they portrayed him from day one as some old hillbilly who filed bankruptcy with his company, who didn't have any money, who was a womanizer, who, you know, had his daughter sitting on his lap when she was 12 years old. They always made him out to be this really bad guy. The Hillary Clinton spent millions of dollars overturning every single rock. The media, we know, was paid off to report him from a completely skewed narrative. And you know what? Here's the thing we've got to remember about DeSantis. And I love DeSantis, but DeSantis as a governor, if you go back and look at a lot of the initiatives he's put through, while they are wonderful for the state of Florida, he's not going to come and do that for the entire country.
How do you know that?
Well, I don't know that, but I can't see that happening.
It's
Because that's like even here in Missouri, as much as I love Eric Schmidt, a lot of the lawsuits he filed were later overturned. A lot of the lawsuits he filed, I think, were because he was campaigning.
They were overturned.
Some of them. Well, I mean, as
A
far
lot
as
of them were what? A
as
lot
far
of them?
as schools and those different things, you know, he would write these different orders about, oh, let's take away masks from schools, and they'd go to court and they say, well, you can't do that. You know, it's up to the schools, it's up to the individuals, it's up to all these different things. It can look really good to institute all these laws on a state, But when it comes
Well,
to the national government, it's not as easy to do because it has to pass the House. It has to pass the Senate. It's just not as simple.
Well, getting back to the DeSantis deal with going on a tour, which is just bizarre to me, and it's official. I'm telling you this, guys, I have a different take. I'm glad that Trump tweeted what he did. At the time, I wasn't, Eric. At the time, it frustrated me, but over time, I'm glad he did what he did, regardless of where that puts him now, because what he did by doing that was he kind of made people come out from that cloak, so to speak. Who are you? Where are you? What do you stand for? And he pushed people into positions where they had to kind of let you know where they stood.
I agree. I think Trump sometimes definitely has toilet tweets, but I think a lot of it is to push people. He says it to get a reaction.
Of course.
And
Here's the deal. Vic and I,
And it put us into a new
privileged.
situation.
Vic and I were privileged to play in collegiate sports. I was privileged to play semi-pro football, actually. I was privileged to be in locker rooms that were nasty, dank, some of the most insane language you guys have ever heard. You guys would be literally faint here if you knew some of the stuff that athletes talked about. And I know Vic knows this is right. Trump, all he did was make me laugh whenever he talked about grabbing people by the parts and this, that, and the other. And when women heard that, I knew that they were not going to vote for that. That's why I'm sick to my stomach, because
Oh my God.
You're
lost your
different.
minds.
You're different. But there are women.
Do you know how many
there
groups
are
out there are
women,
women for Trump groups? Women for
Monday.
Trump groups?
It's Monday. This is not Friday. There are women.
Are you trying to say that's
there
conspiracy
are women.
talk?
There are women who do not like the way that this guy talks.
Liberal
Period.
women.
Period. No, conservative
Women who call themselves feminists.
Women who don't know politics. Women who don't.
I
So I
agree
don't-
with women. Not you. He's not talking about you.
I'm not talking about you.
You know how
I'm
many
talking
Trump
about
women for Trump groups there are right here, even in the state of Missouri?
There's a
Women
lot.
for Trump. There's a lot
But-
of. We look through the crowds that support
Do you
Trump.
know how many Battlehawk fans there are here? It's not an NFL team. It's not the majority. It's the people that
I
live.
disagree completely.
It's the people that live. The women who say, "Oh my God, did he really say that about Megyn Kelly and the blood coming out of every
I heard that a
orifice?"
lot in St. Louis
Did you ever-
County,
did
Tabitha,
you
when
hear
I
what-
was doing election
liberals?
stories.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
You're wrong, Tab.
I
I
mean,
know that you. I know
both
that
could
you're.
be.
I
It's not
get
even
it.
a matter of being right and wrong. It's like we don't really know,
And we don't have to stay
You
on
know,
this
you're. You know,
The
you're.
We don't have to stay on this
majority-
topic forever.
the
I'm with you.
majority of conservative women supported Trump
I
regardless
hear you.
of that comment, because you know why? The majority of conservative women were smart enough
Yeah.
to say, you know what? A lot of guys say these things. It wasn't what he said about Megyn Kelly. It was not pretty. It was unprofessional.
See,
Rosie
why?
O'Donnell
But I didn't
commented
stop
that was
supporting it.
hilarious.
Wait. If what I'm saying is this, I feel like being a marketeer, right? I used to work with a bunch of PR. I used to work with
That's true.
I used to work with a ton of PR companies. These are companies that say, don't say that. They know how to. If you're going to be in the political game, Tabitha, I know it's ugly and it's in the trenches, but in the public facing, you are a statesman. That's what that job demands. I'm sorry, I don't care what anyone says.
But you know,
To
the
be a
first one that
statesman.
wrecked the statesman one was Obama, because he did
Kind
not
of.
wear a suit and he just would play all this funky
Oh,
music.
no doubt.
I mean, he started ruining the
Do you
White House
remember
first.
the flap he got for wearing that tan suit?
Yeah.
Remember that
I
when he
do.
was behind the podium and he was wearing that remember the brown?
Yeah, I remember.
And it was like, how disrespectful.
And no tie.
And no tie.
Woo.
And I was like, and I kind of was thinking to myself, I was like, I think it looks kind of
It
cool,
was
actually.
fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
But people lost their mind
They
over
did.
it. So the only thing I'm saying about Trump is this is a guy who built skyscraper after golf course. He knew what he was doing. He did a phenomenal job, but he wasn't talking to a big constituent. Now you're not included. You are a fan.
Do you see Glenn just made a comment, and Glenn is absolutely correct. And I'm glad Glenn brought this up because I had forgotten. After Trump made those comments
Yes.
in the 2020 election, he actually gained women's
yeah.
votes. He gained
did.
votes.
Here-
His votes went up, not down.
They did go. I remember that story going up. I think here's the deal. Once again, it's one of those things. I think you're both right. It was the independent voters that I think Eric's talking
Well,
about.
there are
That-
always going to be people on the
And
fence.
independents are the ones who change elections. It's not the basis.
Cheating
Tabitha.
changes elections.
Well, cheating could too, but I'm telling you, it's independents.
Here's the deal.
It's the middle of the country that are changing the elections. in a lot
With
of those
Trump,
states.
it's like this with me. I'll vote for him right now. Give me a ballot. But here's where I feel with Trump. I feel like there's one in the chamber, and you are literally playing Russian roulette with this thing. This is an election. You better damn well win. If you don't win, you better start looking for another country. I'm telling you, I don't care what you say, Tab, because they're letting 250,000 people over your border. Demographics will start to change in these cities. Eventually, liberal politicians will let other people from other countries start to vote. Your vote will be diluted. You better start looking for another country, a country where maybe you can live off the grid. That's what's coming. Now, if you think Trump can do it and you don't want to play Russian roulette with that one in the chamber, knock yourself out. I'm saying DeSantis will win an election in the masses. It will be he will run.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know about that
Oh my
either.
God, you guys are nuts. You guys
I
are
don't know
Eric,
about
I've
that
agreed with
either.
you mostly today.
He
I just
will
don't
run
know.
over. He'll run over Biden like
There's a lot of diehard Trump supporters who are the majority, who we've all been cheated out of election. There's a lot of people who feel like I do, Eric. I love DeSantis. I really do. But as a governor, I think he's done a lot of good things. As a president, will he really stick to his guns? I don't know. But here's the thing. People still support Trump overwhelmingly. People still feel like he was cheated out of his second term. And a lot of people think he deserves to have an opportunity for that second term. We already know what Trump can do as president.
Do you know how
We
many
need him
Democrats?
back.
Do you know how many Democrats are on the fence enough to say, I don't want to vote for a Republican, but my God, this guy is a moron. I would vote for a Republican, but not him, not Trump.
Can you imagine a debate between Trump and DeSantis? The media ratings would be fantastic.
They would be.
I would love to see that.
That might save some TV networks for a while. That's for sure. But what about Nikki Haley being put on that stage?
Oh, good Lord.
And she's. But I'm just telling you. But
Eric would vote for her.
But here's the thing. I'll be curious to see how much women support she can. She's well spoken.
Exactly.
She's well spoken, and I think Eric's thesis today will be put to the test when Nikki Haley jumps into the picture, being a woman, and then now also having CNN anchor Don Lemon go after her.
I don't think she'll have a good base of women.
And I'd be curious to see, because she became national news, as Eric was talking about a little bit ago, because she was arguing that politicians are too old and they should undergo these health tests, or at least making them public. Last week, we were told by Joe Biden's doctor, oh, he's a spry 80-year-old. He's all great. He's in great. Yeah, of course he's not. And then Don Lemon came out and said, like, basically ripped her and said, well, she's going to have an uphill battle because women are only in their prime during their 20s, 30s, and their 40s. Did you guys know that, Tabitha and Lizzie?
Oh,
yeah.
I
I don't even know why you have Tab and I on the show. We are completely out of our prime.
Well,
because I need to be abused in the morning.
Don's taking the
Tabitha.
Wait till after the show.
Take your medicine, Eric. So Don's taking the day off from. Even CNN suspended him for the day.
One day.
I know it's a joke, but whatever.
All of us lovely women.
But
we are at our prime now.
Nobody's watching. I know, but nobody's watching.
I tell you what,
CNN
this
anyway.
is just proving. I've never. You know, everybody throws that word. What's the misogynistic, woman hating, chauvinistic? This is a guy that's been calling Trump misogynistic and chauvinistic for the last 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
The way that he treats his coworkers, apparently behind the scenes, and the way that he treats Nikki Haley proves quantifiably that this guy hates women.
Yeah, unprovoked.
Period.
Unprovoked as well, from all the reports that
Yes.
nobody does anything to him. Nobody says anything to him. Nobody tries to go after him. Nobody tries to set him up. These
Well, you
are
know
just
why.
comments that he's making on his own. Why?
They will never fire Don Lemon
Who
because
cares?
he's black
It's
and
CNN.
gay.
Oh, well,
he's gay.
He's
Question
black
mark.
and gay.
See,
And that
you didn't
opens
know he
up-
was
I
gay.
had no idea.
Eric, he's married to a white man, and he rips the white
Not that
race.
there's anything wrong with that.
Anthony Merkel totally believes with you. And I've seen him
Mhm.
in a lot of different chats, and he doesn't usually agree with the hosts, but he agrees with you.
On what point?
All of it.
Well,
Like all of your points, particularly
Yes.
about Nikki and probably
Yes.
about Trump and DeSantis.
if you had Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback and he had a dislocated throwing shoulder, and he had a high neck
Tabitha,
ankle
Aaron
sprain,
Rodgers is currently the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, but maybe not for long, because I know you don't know sports. I want to make sure you
Thank you,
understand.
because I
Eric's
had no
analogy.
idea who that was.
Oh,
I know you don't. but
who was the guy before Brady? What was his name?
For where?
for the New England Patriots.
Oh, that was
You got this.
yeah.
You got this.
Drew,
Drew, yes. Keep going.
Yeah, Drew.
Come on, man. This is the best one right
It's
here.
gonna come on our.
Actually, we'll go with Trent Dilfer.
No.
All of a sudden, you got Trent Dilfer, who is supposed to take your beloved St. Louis Rams to the Super Bowl. And I'll just do this one. I'll do this one every Monday. St. Louis Rams. All of a sudden, that he gets nailed, hit, boom.
You're talking about the Rams.
Yeah, I'm talking to the Rams. I've moved on to the Rams.
Trent Green.
Trent Green. All of a sudden, you got Trent Green coming in. He's injured. Your season is over. The guy that was supposed to take you to the promised land. All of a sudden, there's this guy named Kurt Warner on the bench. That's DeSantis. DeSantis comes on the field and he creates the greatest show on turf. It's 2 years.
I love your analogies.
I did
It's
see
2 years of campaign madness and just go directly at every single one of these liberal issues. And he does it calmly. He does it very methodically.
But will he?
He goes across the country. He even knocks on Gavin Newsom's door.
And Nikki Haley's not going to.
Nikki Haley.
You don't think she's going to? You don't think she's going to register?
She is never going to have.
And you don't think she'll register with
base.
females after?
Absolutely.
What Don
Females
Lemon
do
said
not
as
like
well.
her.
No, most females don't like her.
Why?
Because she hates Trump. We are most conservative females these days love Trump. Nikki Haley is
playing the game for the vice president.
What about Tim
role.
Scott? Where does Tim Scott's role in? Because
I love
remember,
Tim Scott.
this is a primary,
right?
And they're going to stick in it as long as they possibly can.
I'm gonna give Tabitha a little prop right now. Here's how I'm going to do that.
Oh, good gosh.
Tim Scott does not have the firebrand that this race needs.
Not yet.
Tim Scott does not. He does not. He is not the Michael Jordan of the Republican Party. He does not have the chops. DeSantis is. If you had
there will never be a Trump DeSantis together. It can't. It's not even possible because they're both from Florida.
Yeah, but who said that?
Who said what?
No,
they were together.
It's not. You're right.
People keep saying Eric was just talking about DeSantis and Trump.
No, I would
not together.
No. I was talking about Scott, Tim Scott, the senator.
Tim Scott is needed. You know why? Because he'll get the minority vote for conservatives.
You're right, but he's not.
Which we desperately
need. So Nikki
need.
Haley does not have she does not have the chops yet. Scott does not have the chops yet. No governor other than DeSantis has the chops to go against Trump. Here's what I would like to see happen. I would love to see Donald Trump come out and say, I'm not running for president. I am my full weight.
Are you serious?
I know it's not going to happen. Hey, look.
But that's what you really want.
Did you ever see The Secret? Did you ever read the book, The Secret? Put in the universe what you want to happen, guys. Higher vibrations.
Can I please say something?
Okay, go ahead.
Please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Nobody stops you from saying
that.
I'm not saying you do.
You have a word count way over what I got.
I'm not saying you do. I'm not saying that you're not giving me the opportunity. I just think this needs to be said. DeSantis has never been in this position. We already know what the amazing, great Trump can do. Trump should be president. He should get a chance for his second term. We already know he is America first. We already know the fast track this country was on. We have no idea, Eric, what DeSantis is going to do. I love DeSantis.
Let him give him a shot.
People need to give Trump a chance.
Do you ever hear the coach of this is a good football analogy Monday, isn't it? Ever heard the coach, Vic, when you get on and it's the day one of camp and they go, no one has earned a position yet. Remember that speech?
Well, that's in sports. That's in business. It can be all over the place.
Exactly. No one's earned a position yet. We're going through training camp, and whoever does the best job is going to be the first on the depth chart. Now let's get at it. Who's my quarterbacks here? Oh, okay. You got a high ankle sprain. You're out.
We need a street team, Eric, a street team to go out because we can all sit here and say, this is what people think. This is what people want. If we had our cancel this street team, we could go out and we could meet with the people on the street at these different Republican rallies or independents, whoever the people might be. And we can ask them, hey, who are you going to vote for?
I was also thinking that this is an
Great
opportunity for the Republicans to use this campaign season as, and this is what I would do. Lizzie, what do you think about this? Is not only is this a DeSantis Trump argument, but let's go a little farther and say this is, if you are an old politician, you're gone. We got to make this Republican Party younger, Mitch McConnell. Don't you think that we can utilize this campaign season to say we need young candidates? If you're not a young candidate, I'm sorry, but you got to watch from the booth upstairs.
You will get the millennials to agree with you for sure. Because this weekend I was talking to my millennial kids.
Yes.
And they agreed with you.
Yes.
That they didn't like Trump and they know their mama is one of the hugest Trump supporters ever. And my
Correct.
kids do not agree with me.
Can you address that, Tabitha? She's making a great point. Millennials not liking Trump, but hey, this is a DeSantis
But they are not.
guy.
But the millennials in the conservative party are not the majority.
That's true too.
They're
That's
not the
They're
majority.
a part of the party.
There are some millennials who are conservative, but overwhelmingly, most millennials are liberal. That's just unfortunate because we have these colleges churning them out left and right to be liberals. So their votes, wow, we love their votes, and their votes do matter. In the end of things, they really don't.
It kind of does, because I'm not a pollster, but here's the deal. DeSantis is a good-looking 50-year-old cat with a good-looking family in a kick-ass state. Oh, you're waving me off. You're already waving me off. I gotta know why you're waving me off. It's like I'm coming in for a landing on an aircraft carrier.
You're not even rolling your eyes, but you got something to say. Say it.
Eric, here's the deal. The millennials don't care about that. Let me tell you something. 50 is old.
But it's not 82.
And they like Bernie Sanders.
They do
like Bernie Sanders. They still like Bernie
Conservative.
Sanders.
It's a conservative issue, Eric. You hit it. Eric, you're right. You're it's about being conservative.
Yes.
And then not getting too far off the subject. The problem is the fact that you've got a couple key issues that youngsters, millennials, still get attached to.
Oh,
from a political standpoint.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders, you're right. Bernie Sanders
where that problem comes into play. I didn't say anything because I was wanting you to speak. I was just going, I don't see it happening. I just don't. But it's going to be interesting when all of this stuff starts to play out. I can't wait for the primary. Hey, we got about 8 minutes before we take a break, and we have to hit this. Once again, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Austin, Texas defunds police. So cool, so hip, as Eric talks about. Oh, yeah, it's a thing to do these days. At least 4 incidents of drag racing Saturday night. Guess what? There's no police to take 911 calls. A city council member called 911 to try to stop one of the dangerous drag racing events that was going on. City council member on hold for 28 minutes because they don't have enough people to answer 911 calls. This isn't St. Louis, Missouri, where we have talked about the problems that we have for 20, 30 years. This is freaking Austin, Texas.
And it's not, here's what's scary. It's not just calls for drag racing. I shared a post on my Facebook page, my personal page, where there was a woman calling in and she to 911 and she said, my boyfriend's breaking into the house. What? He's already assaulted me. Yes. I just got out of the hospital. And they're like, I'm sorry, but we don't have anyone to send out. Last week, I think we were talking about it.
In Texas?
In Austin.
Yes.
And last week we were talking about this, where there are business owners who are closing their businesses because they said, we keep having these break-ins. People keep coming in. We're worried they're going to, break in and assault us, after we close our business. Every time we call police, they don't respond because they don't have enough officers, not because they're not good officers, because there aren't enough of them. And we know what happens here in St. Louis. It's happening in Austin, and it's happening all across the country.
Man, am I the only one in this room that feels like,
yes, you are.
If you buy a lion, don't get pissed off that you get mauled. That's kind of what I feel about Austin, Texas.
Eric,
I love your analogy.
That is the best analogy.
That's how I feel about Austin, Texas. If you buy a lion, you're going to get your head ripped off eventually. It might look cute.
You're right.
It might look fuzzy. Oh, look how adorable it is playing with the little cat toys. All of a sudden, it's going to get in your face, and it's going to rip your face right off. That's what's happening to Austin. That's what's happening to Chicago, St. Louis, Missouri, Los Angeles, California, New York. I can go on and on and on. It's these people say this cute little thing called defund the police. Oh, look, I got a t-shirt. It says defund the police on it. I'm going to wear it downtown. People are going to love me. I'm going to go and have a cocktail with all my friends, defund the cops. Oh, look, the mayor just defunded the police. Isn't that fun? Look, they defunded the trash men too. This is a fantastic place to live. Boom. All of a sudden they're lighting fireworks at cops. Cops are backing up in fear. And now there's no one to call 911 to. Oh, my God, the party was so fun. We're going to break into a few houses now.
Tabitha, didn't Portland come back and vote for more city funding for police?
They did.
And didn't Minneapolis vote for more police funding after they saw what you get?
So did Pennsylvania. Whenever there's an area of Philadelphia that completely disbanded their police.
Oh, my God.
And guess what? Crime went crazy.
Okay, is this because of liberal ideas, Eric? Is that's what's going on?
It's not liberal
politicians getting in and going, well, we're going to go vote for these laws now. These are the laws we're going to make because we have the power.
There's
a lot of Republican money in
than
Austin.
It's worse than that. It's like policies are led by what is the flavor of the day. It is literally the kids, the super liberal progressives that are pushing their narrative on top of politicians, and these politicians they lap it up like it's milk, and they just don't know what to do with themselves. They get thrown into the mix. Tashara Jones is a heterosexual woman, I think, yet she still uses these dumbass pronouns that mean nothing. That just because
Did you go to the mayor's ball in St. Louis?
No,
on
I did
Friday
not.
night?
But I heard it was. I heard it was fantastic.
She was there.
I know she was. Hi, this is Tashara. I am her, his, they, whatever the hell she is. But it's basically the flavor of the month. It's trendy. It's no different than liking pop music. I think this is going to be gone pretty soon. It's like when I listened to my first Britney Spears album. They loved it for 3 years, and then they moved on to Mariah Carey or whoever it was after that. This is trendy stuff, and we shouldn't be doing politics or policy via Twitter and via these young kids who put on these BLM shirts or these defund the police shirts. No. Your job is to make sure the potholes are fixed.
The majority of people don't want to defund police.
I'm getting to a point now where I think we have to have a commission-based strategy for mayor. Mayor, you can make $10,000 a year if the crime is over this. You can make $40,000 a year if the crime is over this. You can make $250,000 this year if you have 0 homicides in your city.
Yeah, I love your ideas.
I just think there's no option. We got to bribe these people to keep our
you, Eric, with your great ideas. They're awesome.
For sure.
I just hope they can. There's only one idea.
If you can have your urban cities, if your public schools can compete with China, we'll give you $1 million. If you beat China as far as our standards go, and you can get every kid in every single school to be able to read at the level that China's reading, we'll put 1 million bones into your damn. And
that's never going to happen. We have to remember here in St. Louis City, the alder people just gave themselves a $30,000 per
Thank
year
you, Tabitha.
raise.
Great point. Wonderful point.
$30,000.
You probably didn't hear that.
An abundance of COVID relief money and cronking money.
Yeah. And Eric, I think
yes.
And Eric,
money.
They did it. Guess what day of the week that happened?
Friday.
You got it.
Of course.
It was a news dump day. They did it. Now, we talked a little bit about it, but just think about this. No raises for police with that money because there's too many
for police.
But the aldermen and older women got $30,000 raises.
Wow.
And the money going into reparations.
Because their job is so much more important than police. I mean, think about that. Think about that. Now, I'd be happy for our boy Cedric Redmond, C-sharp, if he can get in there, because I know he's going to be trying to do some work that's worthwhile.
Yeah.
But Cedric's going to run up against the other people who are aldermen that may go against his way of voting. But at the end of the day, just think about that. What's happening? 911 calls have had issues in St. Louis for years. Austin, Texas, beautiful Austin, Texas. I had an opportunity to visit probably 40 college campuses across the country when I was a color voice for the University of Missouri football team, traveling the country, going to college towns, checking them out. Austin, Texas, about 25 years ago, it was the best college town I had ever visited.
It's a beautiful area.
And now you have a situation where people can't even get a 911 call.
And it's the home of Matthew McConaughey.
Oh my God, I know.
And a lot of other people.
When I was
and Matthew McConaughey.
When I was stop it. When I was touring, we
I've
used
been
to
to
go
his house.
to every city.
He's lost his. What? You haven't been to his house?
Yes, I have.
Why were you at his house?
Was it his trailer down by the river?
No,
his camper?
it was his real house.
You can't not believe
Where he was
Tabitha.
naked
Everything
Bondo
Tabitha
at
says
Bongoing.
is crazy is true.
Wait a minute. Are you sure were you doing
Everything.
the tour of famous celebrities that live in town and you were following
No.
them?
You know, I was there for work and I stopped to buy Girl Scout cookies. And the girl that I bought, my friend and I, it was actually a coworker and I. We bought Girl Scout cookies, and we were joking around. The coworker and I were like, "Yeah, we're gonna give these to Matthew McConaughey or something just silly." And she's like, "That's my cousin." She's like, "I'll take you to his house." It's like It was literally like 4 houses down from where we were buying these Girl Scout
I'm
cookies.
not buying. I don't believe
I
it.
swear to you
No, that's
on
not true.
my life.
I
swear
bought
to you
some
on my
Girl
life.
Scout cookies
Not
this
true.
weekend and got in trouble from some of my kids because they're like, "Didn't you know, Mom, when you buy Thin
Yeah.
Mints, it's killing a baby because they're giving money to Planned Parenthood." So my children
Oh.
chastised me for buying Thin Mints.
Good
Did
for
you know
them.
that?
I no
So I
longer
can't buy
buy
Thin Mints anymore.
I don't buy Girl Scout cookies anymore because
I guess not.
'Cause they're
unfortunately,
fattening.
it's unfortunate because the little girls don't. I
It's
used to be a Girl
sad, little
Scout.
girls.
It is sad, but now you're right. They unfortunately have
Screw
become
them. They're killing
commies.
babies. I'm
Well,
kidding.
no,
Right.
the problem is most people don't understand. They're not educated. They don't know. They're just trying to do something good with an organization that had been known to do some good things. Everything gets a little bit of gray in it, a little bit of poison,
Yes.
and it becomes an issue. And it's like, my gosh, everything is adulterated with issues that they should not be dealing with, like Austin, Texas, which is why we had to bring that up because
Here-
it blows my mind.
St. Louis City, our alder people, somebody just texted me, make $73,000 a year for a part-time position.
And you should go to an alderman meeting. Well, no, you shouldn't. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I went to several of them. I'm just telling you right now.
They're stupid people.
I
They're
would
idiots.
never say
I
those.
will.
And
I-
5 of them, didn't 5 of them just get indicted
They're morons.
and
Yes.
are in prison
They're-
now
they're
for
morons.
bribery?
There
Yeah.
is more
Say that.
dysfunction that I witnessed at St. Louis City Alderman meetings than any other place. It's a joke.
Yeah, they're morons.
And it's not just the city of St. Louis. We
Hey,
happen to
but
be
fine.
familiar with
Everywhere.
it.
But if there's
It's
enough money,
everywhere.
if there's enough money to go around to give them raises, fine. Maybe it'll attract
There's not.
more quality people.
No.
But if you're not giving police in the city that's a problem, especially when you have the crime that you have. But then again, when you talk to the leaders, they say there's too many police officers in St. Louis. And that same philosophy was brought up in Minneapolis. It's brought up in Austin,
It's
Texas.
stupid.
It's brought up in Portland and Seattle and New York and Chicago and all over the place. And then you see what happens afterwards.
And you've reported on this for many years now.
Vic, has there ever been a report? And I only ask this because I don't know. I don't work in news and I'm not a news guy, but did 245 Post-Dispatch KMOX, did anybody do a before and after of the city of St. Louis from 1970 to where we're at now?
Who's going to do that?
As far as the high-rise buildings down there, as far as the businesses down there, as far as the amenities that are down there, has anybody ever done a compare and contrast of this city to where it is right now and the trend
No.
of where we're going?
No, they haven't done a compare and contrast because here's the problem. If you do that, you may get some people to talk to you, but you may not because you get quote canceled and your bosses won't let you do that. That's what happens. That's why I've always said, it's like, I love a lot of the people who work in local news, the individuals, people I'm still friends with, but decisions that are made, it makes it difficult to trust or to know that you can actually count on somebody when those things happen.
Is there a day when it's like the news just says it's just far too dangerous to live downtown? Is that even
They
a
will
thing?
never say that.
You don't think so?
No.
Really?
Do you think
don't-
so?
I kind of think that they're doing it now a little bit.
Well,
I do.
said you've
I
lost
do-
your mind.
Do you guys still
Lost
watch
your
local news? Do you?
Very rarely. If I
Never.
know something's
Never.
going to be on, like I did last
Well,
week.
I haven't watched
Well,
Fox
I
2
do.
since Vic left.
I do.
Thank you. But here's okay. Did you want to make a point before
Well,
we
no,
get out
the
of
only
here?
point I
We're
was
up
saying
against
is
our break.
that I'm trying. I always try to see between the stories what they're saying, and I almost see the reporters begging. I am a liberal, but can someone please come down here and save this city? I start to see these reporters like, I'm a defund the police person too, but help.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
I feel
No.
like the tide.
You're reading
Well,
between
see,
lines
well,
that aren't there.
Maybe you're right, Tim.
We got to take a quick break. When we come back, this is about a 2-minute break. When we come back, we've got Chanel Rion live. Chanel is live from OAN. She was a massive hit on our show when we had her when we first started. She's coming back on. We're going to talk about, let's just say what happens behind the scenes at the White House, what's happening in D.C. these days, because you can't make this stuff up. She witnessed it firsthand. She witnessed being canceled. We love her. We're going to take a quick break. Canceltheshow.com. Canceltheshow.com. Share the show. We got Scotty Gherkin. We've got Lizzie Sparks, Eric Johnson, Tabitha Hassel. I'm Vic Faust. Share the show. Like, subscribe. Chanel Rion from OAN coming up in just 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Exotic Services is St. Louis's first concierge vehicle service center. Alex David's team is passionate, certified technicians. They have industry-leading tools and equipment. They do it all. They pick up and deliver your car hands-free. Plus, they have elite detailing service, customized PPF wraps and tinting, and inspection and titling assistance. White Glove also specializes in logistics and storing options, vehicle listings, and consignment. White Glove Exotic Services. Check them out at cancelthisshow.com. Kathy Big Strick, owner of Experience Real Estate Partners with eXp, has been one of St. Louis, Missouri's highest selling groups for 26 years running. In that time, Kathy and her team have successfully assisted an incredible 4,000 families. So if you're thinking about buying, building, or selling, be sure to put Kathy's group and their experience to work for you, and you can expect to be moved. Just give her a call at 314-276-SOLD. That's 314-276-7653, or find her online at experience-re.com. Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, if you don't know, is a family-owned business that has been around since 1994, serving some of the best chicken wings in town, no joke. Also known for their fresh burgers, pizza, and incredible smoked meat. Top-notch happy hour specials are included, plus live music every Friday and Saturday. Oh yeah, you can also enjoy their spacious heated covered patio. It's Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, 18,000 Chesterfield Airport Road.
Carroll House has the largest selection of solid wood with the hottest new styles. Real furniture that's built to last, like our solid bedrooms, living rooms, and dining from Kincaid. Our volume enables us to save you a lot of money, especially during our solid wood sale. Plus, get free financing, fast free delivery, and free in-home design. So for solid wood, sweet styles, and solid service since 1964, shop over 3 football fields of furniture at Carroll House. Because you like nice things.
Hey guys, welcome back into cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust. Scotty Gherkin's here. Lizzie Sparks, Eric Johnson, Tabitha Hassel. And of course, I'm Vic Faust. Thanks for kicking back in here. 9:02 is our time here. Happy President's Day, everybody, on this Monday. Maybe people don't have to work. I know a lot of kids aren't having to go to school, so that's good from their standpoint. They get a day off. Okay, wherever you are, we hope the weather is good as it can possibly be in the St. Louis area. It's good. Of course, you know we are. Cancelthisshow.com. Live Monday through Friday, Central Time, 8 to 10 a.m. Of course, you can catch all of our original content all the time at cancelthisshow.com. Once again, cancelthisshow.com. If you want to jump into the show, you can do that as well. Let your comments be known. Lizzie's running the comment board this morning. Glad that she's here doing that. Okay, with that being said, we welcome back in a friend of the show, and we're going to check out her shot and see how it is this morning. Chanel Rion, the weekly briefing with OAN. Chanel, you joined us before. You were a huge hit on our show. I don't know where you are because I know you travel the world. And I hope your shot is all right this morning and that you sound great. But welcome back into the show.
Yeah.
Good morning, Chanel.
It's great to Good morning, Lizzie. Yeah, hi, Eric.
Hello.
I'm on at the White House.
She's at the White
Oh,
House.
you're at the White House.
So you can't talk that loud. Or can you? Maybe
She's
can't.
showing
No.
pictures.
Biden's not even there. So you-
Well, welcome to my tent. This is where I work every infamous little chair, the chair that has been so abused. The cohorts here. This is how we deliver news for OAN. We've held down the come and take it flag.
Hey, Chanel, you're cutting out.
That's
We can
so
tell
nice.
that you're at the White House, but you're cutting out just a little bit.
It's a modern technology.
Yeah, I don't know if there's
technology's
any way to get
crazy.
her back. That is an awesome shot that she's showing us right now. Chanel, we may need to, I don't know, Scotty, if you have any advice, throw it out there. I don't know if there's anything you can do. Chanel, we're just having some issues where we can't hear you. And everybody loves the shot. You look great. The shot looks great. It's just difficult hearing you going in and out. So if there's maybe if we try to reconnect, that may be able to make the problem go. I don't know.
Yeah, this is way too important. This is way too important.
Yeah, just try to reconnect with her.
But wow, that shot looks amazing. So she's live.
She's in the White House.
She's in the White House.
In the
Is that
media
better?
room.
All right, Chanel, can you talk to us again? You said you're at the White House?
You guys, I don't know if you can see me. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you and hear you now.
Beautiful.
Oh, good. Okay, I couldn't tell. I was just going to say, like, this is at the White House when we provide coverage from. This is our tent. This is the infamous little chair. My come and take it flag. This is throne. And then here's the White House.
That's crazy.
We are the second tent down. Let me just quickly give you.
I just want to let our listeners and viewers know, yes, we know she's cutting out. We hear what you guys hear. We're hoping somehow, some way this gets a little bit better. So because this is really, really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What we're getting a chance to see right now behind the scenes.
Can you guys actually hear me right now?
Yeah,
it
cuts in and out a little bit, but that's all right.
So we've had
Biden is not
problems out here for a while. We've been in and
That's all right.
out,
It's the Biden administration, Chanel. They can't get the damn Wi-Fi right. They're trying to cancel you, Chanel. That's what's going on.
That's exactly
The White House
what's
hasn't paid its
happening.
bills.
MSNBC has a 1 gigabyte download and upload. That's awesome.
It's the UFOs. Now,
Yeah.
it's been a busy morning. I actually I just got back from a weekend. Of course, we come back to all this news. Actually, the hottest location to be this morning, and of course, is in Kyiv this morning. Very surprise visit, and this is something that when this was literally announced this morning to the rest of us, we are tracking that from thousands, and the big question, of course, all of a sudden, is he decided to go to Ukraine, and
do you ever get the memo?
Timelines. Yeah. No,
sorry.
We get.
So what? How did it work this morning?
For example, they had a phone call this morning. National Security Council briefs reporter kind of off record, or it's embargoed for a few hours, for however. Hey, we're going to give you some background on what's going on in a few hours, and somehow the embargo was broken. Who broke the embargo? But someone broke the embargo, and then we were able to report on it earlier. But the president is touring Kyiv with President Zelensky and plans to be on his way out. That's what we know so far, which keywords that are sent to us by email ever so. So that's how we kind of keep track of on the ground with our, the colleagues who are over there as pool reporters. When I heard about this, I thought to East Palestine, and how last week, before the weekend popped in, he would be visiting East Palestine, and one of the most influential toxic waste spills that we have seen, and you have vinyl burning in the air, turning into
we got Chanel. Hey Chanel, I'm sorry. We are trying our best and you're trying your best. It's just not coming through. I mean, we're getting bits and pieces, and
I know, because you're getting into a topic
you
I
have
talk about.
I know she's talking really about what
Chanel,
you
have
hear.
more insight than anybody we talk to.
You guys want to just do a phone?
Yeah,
so you can
we're gonna. You can just cancel
Absolutely.
out. Well, our producer is going to give you a call here in just a second. He's got some ideas because what you say is so important.
Now you're transitioning to
All right, thank you, Chanel.
Thanks,
We'll be
Chanel.
right back.
Because now I'm about to go ballistic on this next topic.
No, I know. We did our best. We did our best. We gave that more time than what we normally give when it's just not working from a technical standpoint. She's live in DC. from the White House grounds to give you an idea of what's happening when it comes to the internet, when it comes to Wi-Fi. And a lot of times what happens, because we realized it here, when you have so many places trying to use a certain Wi-Fi, it's like you're trying to stick all this data into little holes like that.
You know what that sucks? So this is the White House.
And she has so much information.
This is the White House, guys. This should be the pipeline
So
for
we'll do our
reporters.
best. Yeah, we're going to do our
White
best.
House
and
should
there's
be
no internet, right?
huge. It should be like it should be 5G with a 1,000,000 gigabyte upload. This is the reporters trying to get their stories out.
Yes. And I mean, I guess I'm being a conspiracy theorist.
Oh,
but
here we
knowing
go.
How,
I know right there.
Knowing how that she has been tried to be canceled by the Biden administration, it really makes me wonder, are they doing this on purpose? Because they don't want her to talk.
Yeah, can you tap that stuff down, though? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
Is it legal?
Does Biden do anything legal, though?
Yeah, but she went to the White House. She's like, where's Biden? He's over in Ukraine. What?
Right. She was out of town this weekend.
Yeah.
So when she got home, and she didn't, as you guys know, she was supposed to be on last week, but she was in Montana up in the mountains. And so when she came back, she's like, oh my gosh, like she did not know he was supposed to go.
You know what's weird is and this is I was covering sports teams. I always thought it was cool to go to the locker rooms and talk to them. She's at the White House, man. That has got to be the pinnacle of any career that you could ever have.
Absolutely.
And think about this. You know that she doesn't get invited on Air Force One as a
Not
Republican.
anymore.
But if DeSantis gets in office, she'll have a front row seat to what's happening and travel around the
That's
world.
a good point.
And she works for one of the best news agencies out there. No question about
Now,
it.
was she the one that was taken off the air just recently, or is that Newsmax?
Newsmax. That was Newsmax.
Well, no, here's what happened. DirecTV dropped Newsmax a while, or excuse me, they dropped OAN a while ago.
Back.
Yeah.
It was at the beginning of the year. Now they dropped OAN.
Correct.
They said, well, we can't afford the licensing fee, despite the fact that both Newsmax and OAN were 4th and 5th when it came to the ratings in the entire network. And we all know it was a lie. You don't drop when you're paying for licensing fees of 30, 40, maybe 50 channels that have lower ratings than that. It was all a political deal. And others will say it's because OAN and Newsmax were the only stations, Eric. And I know this is going to be difficult for you to digest.
Okay.
And Tabitha's going to go, see, I told you.
Here we go.
Because OAN and Newsmax were the only ones that were really, truly giving Donald Trump a fair shot.
That is true.
On coverage, where Fox News was not, and Fox News wouldn't talk about certain things.
Really?
But it was OAN and Newsmax, which is why they were dumped.
And they were carrying his rallies.
And that's not a conspiracy theory, Eric. OAN and Newsmax were actually covering Donald J. Trump. Fox News was not doing everything.
They were the only two
and
channels.
Boom, they're out the door just like that.
Only two channels covering his rallies. Because I'll tell you what, even Fox National will not cover Trump rallies.
That is true. And Chanel was the one that used to be Sean Hannity. If you wanted an interview from Donald Trump, it would be Sean Hannity. But then he kind of got to be more establishment in what he could say on Fox.
Right.
So then his go-to person, both Rudy Giuliani and President Trump, would call Chanel, because Chanel completely backed both of them and would give them a fair shake the whole time.
Yeah.
So Chanel's Donald Trump's favorite reporter.
And before we do go back to Chanel, hopefully we'll get her connected again and talk about East Palestine. Is the thing to remember. Remember earlier I said that that Norfolk Southern offered every family $1 million. That was wrong. I went back and checked it earlier. And what the truth is Norfolk Southern put together a fund, $1.2 million for the entire community of 900 people. And they only could take money from this fund if they signed a waiver that they would not sue Norfolk Southern in the future, and if they wouldn't talk to the media.
Makes more sense.
So, and that's why the majority of them turned it down.
Makes more sense. $1 million a check to get out of Norfolk, or not Norfolk, but to get out of East Palestine is tempting.
Well, yeah, it is. And we appreciate you updating that.
Imagine living in Florissant, Missouri, and someone comes and says, hey, I'll give you $1 million. Where you want to go live?
Well,
I'm going to Chesterfield.
But not.
It's getting ready to float down the Mississippi. With the Ohio River and the Mississippi River converge in Cairo, Illinois. It's going to happen right next to my son's house.
The other thing, Eric, which is interesting about how people do have a say and you have power, whether it's in Ohio or whether it's if somebody tries to cancel you, AT&T has now lost $10 billion in value since it dropped Newsmax in the political move. And it was a political move against conservative Americans, unfortunately. $10 billion by people saying, you know what? F you, we're out. We're not
Because
going to do this anymore.
We are the majority.
So there is
And we fight
power
with our
in
dollars,
numbers,
not protest.
so people can and it's with the products. It's the same thing with your products.
Yeah.
You're forced to buy in a lot of senses. I mean, it's like 10 companies own everything of all the products. We're going to introduce you to another product tomorrow or this week where you don't have to be stuck in the situation of the government and you can be patriotic at the same point. A company contacted us, which we'll be releasing this week, about a way where you can fight back against the government in certain issues. This is one of those things, $10 billion. AT&T's like, yeah, whatever. But $10 billion is $10 billion.
Yeah. How is Newsmax or News Nation doing?
News.
I don't know. I don't keep track of News Nation
I'm
anymore.
fascinated with News Nation.
I can't stand it. You know what? I can't stand News Nation.
You have to watch it every day to realize it, Tabitha, but it's the closest thing that we have to covering both sides.
Well, I don't watch television at all. I don't watch television news at all. But when my mother is at my house, she watches News Nation because they do give good updates on these various cases that are coming through. Like right now, they've been talking a lot about that Murdaugh case, the double homicide. They do cover true crime really well.
Right.
But I can tell a big difference from 2 years ago when News Nation first started, when I thought they had a lot of hope. They seemed like they had good folks. They were very down the middle. They are no longer down the middle.
Yeah.
Now they're not as far left as, let's say, MSNBC, of course not CNN, but they are definitely not conservative.
And Jeannie says Cuomo is on that
Cuomo,
station.
yes.
Oh, God. That's where he ended up.
That is
Chris
where he
Cuomo
ended up. Yes, he did.
Now I got to watch it.
They are very much
Introducing
slanted
in
left.
March,
That
Don
tells
Lemon
everything you wanna
in the
know.
evening.
It does.
Yeah.
It's where the
When she has it on, if they're not talking about it like a true crime case, I can't watch it.
where liberal hacks go to die. Starting in March, Don
Is that
Lemon.
where Chris Wallace went to, or did he go to MSNBC?
No, he went to CNN.
Oh, he went to CNN.
Yeah, he fits right in over there.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
Right in.
Right in.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Chris
Chris
Wallace went
Yeah.
from Fox to CNN
And then his show was canceled immediately.
because he
Yes.
sucks. Well, never mind.
Yeah.
He does suck. He does totally
He is
suck.
terrible.
Well, no, I mean, he was using Fox News was better for Chris Wallace than Chris Wallace was for Fox
Well,
News.
talk about a sheep in wolf's clothing, my God. Or flip that, a wolf in sheep's clothing over at Fox. When his colors came out and said, "Look, he's left to center, no doubt about it." So,
And so many are. That's why I cannot watch Fox National. I can't do it. As much as I love Tucker, I love Levin. I don't even agree with Levin on everything these days. I like Hannity to some degree. But I'll tell you what, the folks that are on during the day on Fox National, they're just as bad as so many as CNN.
I think
MSNBC.
conservatism is semi-doomed because conservatives can never just have a group think and just totally agree on everything. Ever notice that they're more open-minded, but a liberal get together, boy, they agree on everything.
I can't agree with you with that.
I've been in parties with liberals, and they never go, this critical race theory might be went too far. No, they are not like that at all.
Yeah, but Eric, you're just probably not running in the right
like
circles.
that at all.
Their party has been completely destroyed. You think about the Blue Dog Democrats. They no longer have a party. They're floating around independents. They don't know where to go. The Democrat Party has been taken over and completely demolished by progressive liberals.
By the way, we did what we could trying to get Chanel in. That's not going to work this morning. She even went over to a coffee shop and did her best to try to get on this morning, but it's not working from the White House this morning.
I'm cool with conspiracy theories then.
I am too.
Well, Scotty, we appreciate you trying. Oh, Scott, we are now on. Okay.
Oh, there's Chanel. There she is.
Yes.
Yay.
Scotty
Hi,
Gherkin.
Chanel.
Chanel,
Is it working?
sorry.
Yes, we are. We're good.
Hey, Chanel, what were you showing before and what was going on?
Oh my God, move. What were you?
Yeah, it's not Chanel. We appreciate it. It's not going to work. Scotty was
I
right.
say we get her to call in, or just get her.
Tomorrow, let's try.
We have
Lizzie,
airplanes here.
Lizzie,
Yes.
we've spent enough on. Can we try to get her for tomorrow? or
Yes,
another
I will
day?
ask her.
And clearly, the White House is not a place where we're going to be able to get her live.
I hate
Yes.
that because I was really
I
looking
got
forward to
all right.
talking
too
to
many
you
damn
now.
questions.
Like, such is life. It is what it is. That's fine. We move on. We've got tons of topics to talk about. And that's that. When Chanel joins us, she joins us.
I want
And
her
it'll
here
be a
in
better show when we have her.
I can't wait.
I wanted to
Okay.
talk to her about this. I don't know what your next subject
Jump
is.
in. No, we've got
So this
Alex
weekend-
David live at 9:35 with something fun.
Nice.
From White Glove Exotic Car Services live, Eric, inside his facility to show us what they do.
How awesome is that? I was watching, and I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch something very interesting. I'm very curious how the cancel culture war happens, and I was watching this thing on Fox Nation, and it's called The Death of Comedy. Right? Comedians were since the woke crowd came out, and see if you guys agree with me on this, Tabitha. Since the woke crowd came out, comedians could not say what was on their mind anymore. Things that are funny,
Sure.
things against Chinese people, things against African Americans, things against white people. They are now so sensitive they can't hear it anymore. Things against Republicans, things against Democrats. Something interesting is going on. Podcasting, the things that we're doing right now, is where these guys are winning the game.
Correct.
Apparently.
Well, they have no options anymore. They're being shut down
Well,
everywhere
we're winning the
turn.
game on a variety of areas.
Yeah.
That's a great point, Eric.
But I wanted to talk to Chanel about this. It's like, so a comedian.
She said she will be on tomorrow at 9, if that's okay
Yeah,
with you guys. And she, you know who she's blaming?
Who?
Obama.
Why?
She just says Obama's the one cutting her off.
Yeah, you know that's right.
Yeah.
You know that's right.
I believe it.
But anyway, it was fascinating, and I go, wow, cancel this. Not only do we have the same name as Roseanne Barr's cancel this.
Well, it was
but-
our name first.
I know it was our name first, but we are in exactly the right place at the right time. And I always kind of wonder, I go, is this a podcasting thing? No, it is.
It is.
And here it even goes farther. If you're on a famous podcast, what happens now is these famous we could get Joe Rogan on this show because the dynamic of podcasting is they just go all over the place.
They do.
Competition is going from show to show to show and talking.
Yes.
And that's how this bizarre conservative network of thought
And
is
you hit-
winning.
Yes, and that's true. Like on regular terrestrial radio, for
Yeah,
whatever their
can't do it.
contracts are,
Yeah.
they cannot go from
Right.
show to show to show or
Right.
show to podcast.
Right.
But podcasters can.
Yes.
Like look at George Norrie, and that was a huge hit, and everybody would
Exactly.
like to have him back on again.
Exactly. So I'm thinking to myself, man, cancel this. And here's another thing that's so they're in trouble. I believe in the next few years there will be networks that have not. So right now you have to be on Lacebook. I think hopefully I didn't get us canceled today.
Right. No,
On
I'm sure you
Lacebook to
didn't.
be able to, or onto BoobTube to be able to broadcast.
Correct.
I think from what I understand, there are going to be networks that have no affiliation with censorship whatsoever. And that will be the new thing that
Until
you
they
see.
get deplatformed from Amazon services and
Yeah.
everything
That's
that they
what's next,
did
Eric.
to what was it? Parler. Because Parler was a fantastic
Well, what
social
happened?
media platform. They were deplatformed. Apple refused to carry the app on their network. Then Amazon Services, who owns the majority of web platforms you see, they deplatformed them. But Eric, you're right. As far as comedy, we've talked about it on the show. I don't know how many times. Everything has changed. Remember when you used to hear those old comedians go out and they would roast different
Mhm.
celebrities, and they were down and dirty. I mean, there was
Yeah.
nothing off
Can't
the
do it
table,
anymore.
nothing off limits. And look at Andrew Dice Clay or Sam Kinison or George Carlin, Richard Pryor. There is no way in a million years that these people would have a show. They have completely killed. Censorship has killed comedy.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that we're doing what we're doing is something that we love that we do. We're passionate about it. We're trying to make a difference, and you guys help us. And with that being said, we've had people who've donated some in the past, and we're grateful for that. And we still have your names, and you get your mugs for that. But we also had another nice donation yesterday from Trisha Yetke, and we try to get those names out there. And all you do if you donate what we do and help to support what we're trying to do, as Tabitha says, our street teams, you just go to canceltheshow.com, our website, and you can click the donate button. You don't have to be a sponsor, an advertiser, if you don't have a business for the show, or if you can't do that, but you can make some donations. You canceltheshow.com. If you're doing it from your laptop, there's a donate button on the front page. If you're doing it from your cell phone, you click menu and then you'll see it. So we appreciate what's happening and what you guys are doing. And you're making a difference, by the way, when you see it. When we look at our live stats or live numbers, people are watching, and you may see numbers that are there on if you're watching from a certain platform, and we have several different platforms to choose from, and everybody is choosing their own platforms, and that's a good thing. And then when the show ends, when you see it, if you're watching live, it goes straight to those platforms and it's saved, and then we edit it for audio.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody that wants to go on the go, you have got it. on those audio platforms
think
as
about
well. And you can see them all at canceltheshow.com. But we're just grateful that Trisha
Yes, thank you, Trisha.
could help us and donate for what we're trying to do.
And hey, but before we can move on to anything else, we don't talk about this often enough. People who do donate, if you go onto the Cancel the Show website, canceltheshow.com, you can see that there are different levels of sponsorship for the show. Like Vic said, you don't have to be a business to sponsor the show, but some of those sponsors include personal tours throughout the facility. They include a live viewing audience from right here in our Carroll House studio. So there are a lot of different options you can choose from.
Yeah, and we do. And I always feel uncomfortable asking people to donate, but we need help.
Too.
We
I
do.
too.
But we're grateful when people do it because it is helping what we're doing. That's how we have this nice studio. It's how we have so many people here. It's how we continue to do what we're doing with the platforms, the audio, the editing, and we've got so many more plans. Eric, I'm just glad that you brought it up.
Well, it's not that it's fascinating to me because
you can donate Venmo as well. It's not just PayPal.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
You can do it Venmo as well.
I take Starbucks.
I was told you can. Yeah, if you go there, it says you can donate via PayPal or Venmo or another way. But we're grateful for you trying to do that because it does help what we're doing.
Yeah,
and you can send stars. And if you go on Facebook, right now, the only platform to do that is Facebook. And it costs $1 or more, and it sends stars directly to the show. And if you notice that's how podcasting is going right now.
Yeah, and it's cool because I love talking about this because because I come from radio, he comes from TV, you come from radio, she comes from everywhere. But it's you actually were with Jamie Allman in his podcasting over there. See, I'm not afraid to say competition on this show at all.
We've invited him on the show.
We never.
Fantastic.
We're not afraid. We want everybody to be united.
Yeah, but the voice is what's important now. And I don't know anything about the stars, but I think it's cool as hell. But if we get the funding, we can do events outside, maybe like the Tea Party used to do over at the old station, 97.1 here in St. Louis. Or we can go set up a shop somewhere, or we can go out of town, whatever it is. These podcasts, whether it's a comedian, whether it's political, whether it's medical. I've seen a lot of medical podcasts, interestingly enough. And it's the only place you can go if you want to talk about the cupcake. And if you want to hear the truth about the cupcake, you can't go to the traditional side anymore. Not just comedians, but across the board. And these, not our show in particular, but like podcasting, I didn't realize until this weekend. And I suggest you go, if you have Fox Nation, go watch The Death of Comedy, and you'll know what I'm talking about. And you'll come away going, damn, this is important.
And Eric, also, I want to remind people, too, since it kind of became a PSA for us, we rent the studio as well. And you just let us know from time. There are people who are contacting us and renting the studio. So we have the studio. We can make it look however you want. We'll work with you with that so you can get your own shows as well. So we just want to remind everybody that is going on, and we appreciate you jumping in.
Super important.
And working with us. I mean, that's one of those advertisers we'll be talking to in just a little bit. Yeah. We've got Alex David from White Glove Exotic Car Services. He's going to be joining us, and we're going to do something cool. We're going to have what better opportunity than talk to people in their environments. So he's going to show us what he can do for you inside of his own facility, which is fantastic. So we'll definitely jump into that as well. It's cancelthisshow.com. Once again, cancelthisshow.com. Like, subscribe. It's a big deal. Like and subscribe on all of the platforms. Even if you find one platform, like and subscribe them all. That's why we always say share the show. That's why Lizzie's on there. And she's second to none when it comes to the comment line of how people are jumping in and trying to do their best in making their points be known, because we're trying to fill a void where there might be a lack of information, or there's information out there. We collect it, we put it together, we try to jump in and let you guys know what you can do as well. And what we're doing is so needed. Eric hit the point. What we're doing is different. We're different. That's why we have so many voices. We have a lot of people bringing as many opportunities, perspectives, and study to the table, where we just don't feel like there's anybody else that's doing that.
Yeah, we're like a bunch of comedians that aren't funny. So we're kind of like comedy.
Well, when we think we're funny.
Tabitha's going to get upset at you. Don't say that. Tabitha's busting her ass on information.
I think you're so funny. And you know what? People absolutely love. They love you, Vic, of course. You're the big time boss. But people absolutely love Tab and Eric. Your different opinions, your sparring, there's nothing like this anywhere else, because most of the time everybody is an echo chamber, which isn't bad either. But you guys bring different points, and you guys go at each other, and you guys sometimes go at each other hard, and that's very well
she
liked.
goes at me hard.
And then when we leave here, I slap him upside the head.
She does. She hits him like you guys don't know that out in the lobby. It gets physical, and then they're fine when they go outside.
She's like my little sister. She's like my little sister. She's my short sister. But
you're much younger, sister. Much younger.
I have a friend. This is just as liberal as they can come, and a bunch of people come out and see the shows on the weekend. So PRL is playing out this weekend, and there's people that listen to this show that I didn't even know did listen to the show. They never show up on the chat line. They never say anything, and then all of a sudden, they were talking about the birthday celebration on Friday, and Christy coming out with the the blah 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 this that and the other. He goes, yeah, that he brought it up. He goes, yeah, that Tab. Does she take Prozac? She really needs Prozac, man. And he's a total liberal. He's like, he's the most.
That's why he says it, because he's a liberal.
He goes,
bingo.
He says,
I agree with Tabitha.
He says, how do you deal with her? I go, I don't, man. No, I go, she's very cool. What do you mean? And so I had this conversation with one of my friends about this show. And I was like, I didn't even know you listened to the damn show. He goes, oh yeah, I check in every single day before I go to work. I go, okay. Anything? Do we make any sense? No, not at all.
And once again, remind you guys are watching live, but you can catch our content all the time. If you don't see it, you can. It's literally this easy. Cancelthisshow.com, cancelthisshow.com, cancelthisshow.com. You can check in anytime that you want to watch it, or you can go to cancelthisshow.com and you can listen to it wherever you are, any time of the day. You can get it all done there for sure. Also, one thing too, getting ready to talk live with Alex David from White Glove Exotic Car Services. We've got Chanel Rion tomorrow. She's going to be joining us at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
And she's not going to try to go back out to the White House, is she?
I'm going to encourage her not to, as cool as it is, because she really wanted to show you guys, and she was going to give us an exclusive because she's a good friend of the show. She's one of our family's best friends. She tried really hard, but I guess that doesn't work.
No, here's what I would say.
We got her at 9 o'clock.
Here's what I would say she does. If you want to relay this to her, take B-roll with her camera. Just go and film and film and film. Tell her to put it up on YouTube so she
can send it to us.
Well, she can send it to us.
Okay, I will tell her to do that.
And then we don't have to worry about that. She can kind of go through it. And here's the B-roll that I shot yesterday, so that might work a little bit better.
We'll let her know.
B-roll, that's industry standard talk. You don't have to worry about it.
It is. Scotty Gherkin's here. Lizzie Sparks, Eric Johnson, Tabitha Hassel. I'm Vic Faust as well, getting ready to talk as we do every day with the guests that we have. Also, we have, I don't have that in front of me right now. But anyway, we're continuing. I don't want to get into the topic before we get to Alex David, but I guess I will. But one other thing real quick. Now word coming out that, that surprise impromptu trip that we know was planned.
Was on a movie set.
Joe Biden to head to Ukraine.
It was. It was.
This is important for what Tabitha says. I mean, we're just poking the bear, poking the Russian bear over and over and over and over again until, if you continue to poke somebody over and 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 over again, eventually the bear is going to respond. And American officials didn't even inform Russia of Biden's trip to Ukraine, which is a massive FU, until hours before he made the trip.
Not surprising.
I mean, that not only is it poking the bear, it's disrespectful, and it's just flat out, it's trashy. It's not cool in any form or any fashion. That's for sure.
I am sure that Putin could care less what Biden does. He probably sees the ridiculousness we see. And you have to remember, when Russia invaded Ukraine, one of the very first things they did is they went to Burisma. It went offline immediately the day of the invasion. They went to these biolabs. They have files. And I'll tell you, they know things that the American people don't know. Putin has hinted to it many, many, many times. So he knows the real deal.
All right. Well, we've got a lot going on today. Scotty, do we have Alex David in yet? I hear beeps sometimes, and then I'm always wondering what's going on.
He's there, but I'm concerned about the internet on this one as well.
All righty then.
And it is not on our end because I've checked everything on ours, and we are full bore. We are wide open.
We have been, because we have you. Will you just keep me posted? I just want to make sure.
So he's there backstage. We can go ahead and try to bring him in.
All right, let's go ahead and try this. So Monday, President's Day. Why not? We'll give it another shot here with Alex David from White Glove Car Exotic Services. Alex, we want to give you a heads up. If you can hear us, that's great. We just want to let you know that something on your side of the internet may not work because we're really trying to be very creative and check out your facility there. If you could, you've been in studio before. Tell us about what you guys do and how you can help people, because that's really damn cool behind you.
Yeah, I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm
Yeah,
hearing
we
a little
do.
bit. Are you guys hearing me all right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great. So if we thought we'd start out back here and kind of show you around a little bit of our shop and some of the cool toys that we've got and some of the neat stuff that we do. And the first thing I've got out here, we brought out our tow truck. And this is our specialty tow truck that's built for these exotic cars. As you can see, the bed is sitting completely flat on the ground, which gives the ability for us to be able to put the lowest profile cars on, load them up real carefully on the ground before they get picked up and taken. It's just one of the many things that we do here at White Glove that's different than everybody else. I thought we'd kind of walk you around and show you the shop
Alex,
a little bit.
yeah, as you're walking around, Alex. Oh yeah, now I get to see it. You mean when you guys go to a house to pick up a car to service?
And that is so incredibly important.
A lot of our customer cars we drive, but if for some reason it does need a tow, we have a tow truck that's built specifically for this use.
Alex, that's so important. I used to have a sports car that sat on the ground just like that, and it was very difficult to tow because obviously you don't want to mess the car up.
That's crazy.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, look at that car.
That is crazy.
I wanted to thank him for using my car for this segment as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that.
You'll need it back soon, though, right? That is
we
amazing.
appreciate that.
What is that on there, by the way? What car is that on there? Is that a Lambo?
It's a 2021 Lamborghini Huracan Evo Spider.
Oh, that's nice. All right, Alex, just continue with the tour, man. That's badass.
So we'll take you through the back entrance here. We're going to walk into our showroom area. This is where we keep our cars that we're waiting on parts. Over here on this side, I've got a setup for doing clear bras, window film. That glass rack is there for the guys to be able to lay the film on and use that. And then all their tools are over here in these toolboxes. We use this area that you're looking at now as kind of a photo area for customer cars and for different cars when people want to get photos taken of their cars. We've got a really nice lighting setup to take professional photos of the cars while they're here, if somebody chooses to do so.
I have a 97 Ford Focus. You think it would look good in there? No, I'm kidding.
It looked fantastic. We just do it after hours.
After hours.
He would make it look like a Ferrari.
Hey, Alex, do you sell cars on consignment? If I know someone who has an unusual or rare sports car, do you sell them on consignment?
So our sister business, I'm very involved in it, but the White Glove Exotic Services is just our service end, and that's really what we're out advertising and marketing for. Our sister company, which is RP Exotics, which is directly through that parking lot across the hall there, is them, and that's where we retail, consign, and do all the trades. And
how much does this
store?
Out of just extreme curiosity, how much does that white Mercedes go for?
That's actually
curiosity.
He laughs.
I brought that car in, so it's a 1968. And we believe it to be true 26,000 original kilometers. It's a stick shift on the column. And as soon as I brought it in, my dad bought it. So It belongs to my dad. It's been sitting here for 6 months. Eventually, he's going to get it fixed up and take it out and cruise around on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, those are hard to get, man. That is awesome. That is a great find right there. And then it's right by the most modern car on the planet, that Tesla. Which you guys work on. You guys work on the EV cars as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, we are actually a Tesla certified shop, so we can order parts direct and take care of repairs on things like that for Teslas.
Nice.
For a little bit of body work, it got smacked a little bit.
Oh. It's funny that those Tesla owners are like, yeah, I'll take a Lambo on any day. Let's get on that quarter mile right now.
Alex,
They're fast.
Alex, I'm curious, as we're seeing some of the cars in your facility, you were talking about body work. Do you do body work on all kinds of cars?
Yeah, so we'll do just about, obviously we do older cars, we do race cars, we do electric cars, and we do exotic cars. We'll take care of just about anything, but for the majority of our business is exotic or weird, that kind of stuff. Although we we've got a Bronco sitting here. We've got another one in the shop we're working on. So we'll work on some classic cars as well.
Yes, look at that Bronco. This is very nostalgic today. I like the nostalgia stuff over there. That's great. Man, do you guys do wraps? That was I think I asked you that last time, but I can't remember.
They do. They facilitate them.
You guys do the wraps over there?
Yeah, no, that section over there is all built for doing wraps and custom paint protection films and color changes and all that stuff. That's actually what we're here getting right now is getting they got the front end foot done, and we're doing the roof in a different color for them and doing a few custom stripes on it here, and then it'll be ready to go.
That's beautiful.
I love seeing those cars. Alex, when it comes to your shop, of course, White Glove, Exotic Car Services. You obviously are working with the exotic cars, but when you joined us live in the studio, you said you also work with all kinds of cars and you work with all kinds of price ranges, things of that nature. If you could, as we're seeing everything there, remind everybody all the things you can do. If they're seeing maybe exotic cars, like, okay, this is out of my league, how can you also hit the other group of people?
So, where our business differs is we really are a concierge service. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have an exotic car to take advantage. We've got a Ford truck out back that we're doing. We did a clear bra section on and did window tint and did a detail for them. And we picked it up in Troy, Illinois, brought it out here, did all the work, and now we're delivering it back there this evening. And it's really more about the concierge service. It's more about the ability to kind of let somebody else who knows what they're doing handle all the different things that need to be done to your car.
Man, good question from the chat line. Do you guys do Ford trucks? I've seen a lot of tricked out trucks, man.
He just said they have a truck out there.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. I was reading the thing.
Yeah.
And then also, can you guys go take a picture of the Mustang again? That thing seems to be kind of popular on there.
Well, we got some time with him. Is there something else you're showing us, Alex?
Yeah, so I'm going to show you the shop. I'm going to take you through this way. So, again, we have a lot of custom stuff doing. We're doing an alignment on a Ferrari F8 that we just did a new suspension package on here. And then the other Bronco we're working on.
Another Bronco.
That's a pretty blue
That's a
Bronco.
real Bronco.
Yeah, I like that. Tabitha likes her pretty blue.
Yeah,
I do like that.
It's beautiful. We love that truck. We love that truck. But again, we'll work on just about anything, and that's what this shop's set up for. It allows us an opportunity to do just about anything we want to do out here.
Yeah.
Do you sell cars too? If somebody's looking for certain cars, can you help people go buy cars? Because we know right now.
Yeah, and definitely we can. I mean, it's our sister company. We do a lot together. So really, we're a one-stop shop between our.
And we want to remind people, if they want to get in contact and just ask Alex and his team anything, you can go to their website. We have them on our website at cancelthisshow.com. If you call Alex, let him know that you've heard about it. You saw this from cancelthisshow.com so that he knows that that leads are coming from what we're doing here, and they're getting a chance to see the video. But Alex, you sold me when you were on the last time, and I was like, okay, you're a one-car stop shop. I mean, it's everything from buying to taking care of it to trading in. Heck, you even didn't you say you even do tags for people? You get cars registered?
Oh, yeah. Well, we do complete title services, and we'll take care of recalls. We'll take care of warranty work. We take care of things that necessarily this shop can't provide, but we have a list of other guys that all work with us. Part of my other job, I run a wholesale company, so we buy and sell several hundred cars per month. And with that, I have multiple body shops we work with and multiple other mechanic shops that we work with, we have VIP service through the titling services, and that's how we offer our title service for our customers. We've been doing this for so long. We have so many resources at our disposal that it makes it very convenient and easy for us to provide.
Yeah, and some of the services in cars are mundane and kind of boring, like new tires and maybe a sensor's going off. You guys handle all the kind of the boring stuff that you might think about going to your dealership or to a Dobbs for, right? Correct?
In reality, we are better provide you with a lot better service. So, that's really really our niche in this market. Is we can get it done for you at a better value than your dealer can, and we have the same, we have the same tools, we have the same technology, we have the same systems, and just as well trained, or if not better trained techs.
Yeah, and it's cool because when you'll drive a car from now till you're dead. You guys kind of become family. It's just even if you get a new car, it's like you go to you. You don't have to worry about finding a new family at a new dealership. If you get a new car, if you get to go from Volkswagen over to BMW, you're in the family at that point, correct?
Yes, it's really nothing we can't. Again, if for some reason I can't provide the service here inside of our facility, we can definitely provide it somewhere within our organization, and that's again where our service model comes into play.
Yeah.
WGExoticservice.com, WGExoticservice.com, exoticservice.com, WGExoticservice.com. Let Alex and his team know that you found out about him and are calling from a cancelthisshow.com episode.
Especially if you're going on vacation. You know what? This is what I would like to do. Go on a vacation, get a hold of Alex, get a hold of White Glove Exotic Services, have them pick your vehicle up or drop it off. And while you're on vacation, they will detail your vehicle, get it good and clean, do all of those things that you don't have time to do. Maybe make some updates, get it in good and mechanical. You have to have your fluids changed and all these things once in a while. Think about it. You can do all of that while you're gone.
Who's the messiest celebrity that you had to clean up their car in St. Louis?
He can't say that.
Come on, no, he's not.
We don't kiss and tell.
That's kind of like asking a doctor what kind of a surgery. Go ahead with that HIPAA law.
It was Joe Buck, wasn't it? It was Joe Buck.
Hey, Alex, where can people find you? Again, we're having people asking where you're located.
We're in Creve Coeur. We're in the kind of Olive and Lindbergh in that industrial park area. We're kind of hidden away more or less on purpose so we can keep kind of quiet back here in the kind of the industrial park area.
Did you ever watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yes.
You ever see when the
parking attendant
took the Ferrari out or whatever it was?
Yes.
Do you guys ever do that?
Come on now, Eric.
Like late at night, He's like, I couldn't
make you out, unfortunately. I got a bad echo there.
Never mind.
That's probably just as well you didn't hear that.
Hey,
Never mind.
Yeah, Alex, before we let you go today, any final reminder for people about what you do and how they can get in contact with you?
Really, anything that you could possibly need that would have to do with an automobile, whether it's purchasing it, leasing it, recommendations or ideas, servicing it, repairing it, fixing it, tinting it, lifting it, lowering it, performance modifications, or anything else that you could possibly imagine. We handle it all. We handle it with the best technology and the best guys, and we'll pick up and deliver for you. So even if your trip requires multiple stops, say to the dealer, then to the DMV, and then to an inspection station, and then an oil change and tires, and back to your office for you before you get off work. That's kind of the name of the game.
I love it. I'm in.
That's badass stuff.
Yes.
And hey, if anybody needs any of that stuff, remember White Glove. Check them out. They've jumped in with us here at canceltheshow.com. Alex, we love you. We love your team. That's really, really, really cool stuff behind you. Thanks for taking some time, and thanks to whoever your photographer was. They did a pretty damn good job walking around with you. That's for
exactly.
Sure. He earned his $11 today, huh?
Yeah. Listen, old Fox camera guy.
Alex, David, White Glove. Thanks, man. That looked great. We appreciate it.
That was awesome.
Such a great service for people.
No, it is. You get an idea. It's one thing to talk about things, but it's another thing.
Can't go to Dobbs and get a rum and Coke and watch the football game on a big screen TV.
Dobbs isn't going to come to your home and pick up your vehicle either.
That's the best.
Exactly.
That
is the best.
I love it.
And then you come home from vacation, or you come home from a day at
all
work,
these companies
and your
do well.
car's
Dobbs
in your
does
driveway.
some good thing. Dobbs has their little niche.
Oh, we're not exactly. Exactly.
They're like
They
the
all do different
McDonald's.
things.
They're like the McDonald's of car repair. This place is like the Roost Chris.
Hey, Scotty, we're really trying to push a lot up there today, getting live shots from DC, live shots from garages. You know what? It's working out as we work the bugs out, because we're going to do
a little rough.
We're going to try everything here because we have a blank canvas, and that's what this network, our little network, is all about, our podcast show. And that's what we're going to continue to do.
So our mystery producer will be here tomorrow, because Scotty's actually going to go hang out with the boys down in Florida. So he's going to be gone for a while. So we get to have.
I'll be signed in.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. You're on vacation.
I'm going to try to get Chris on.
Oh, that would be. We're trying.
Oh,
We're trying
yeah.
to. We're trying to get Chris on. That was our idea.
Yes.
We'll see if we can get.
Whose idea was that?
By the way, guys,
wreak havoc.
Hey, before we call it a show, we have about 8-10 minutes, whatever we want to do. Guys, your thoughts on this? This is very, very interesting on where we are in society. Chiefs had their celebration last Wednesday. Remember it? Massive party.
Mm-hmm.
We're used to. I mean, Tom Brady. After his Super Bowl win, 2 years ago, he was absolutely blitzed. They were like, he didn't drink alcohol, and they're like carrying him around and things. Well, the Chiefs had a massive celebration. It was equivalent to the Blues in 2019, and we're a St. Louis-based show that goes national. Blues players were on the street doing shots. They were drinking Bud. They were, you name it. I mean,
because they're fun.
All over the place. Well, the Kansas City Star published notes to the editor over the weekend,
right,
of many Kansas City Chief fans upset and irate that Andy Reid allowed Chiefs players to be drinking and showing public intoxication up and down their parade, and Patrick Mahomes chugging beers and little kids cheering and clapping for it. So the Kansas City Star published
that's ridiculous.
These letters.
I can't believe that.
That people were sending almost as if to create some sort of controversy.
They are
buzzkill.
Adults. Man, call them
Let
up.
them celebrate.
I need to talk to them.
They are a buzzkill.
And they said that they were upset because some Chiefs players even bragged on social media about how drunk they were afterward.
Are we in a prohibition that I wasn't aware of?
No, you're not. No.
And it was like, the kids, the next time there's a victory parade, quote, please take your alcohol privately and discreetly. Impressionable young people,
those darn liberals,
deserve better role models than what you've displayed now twice.
I'm sure they don't like Brett Hall then. I'm sure.
Andy Reid during halftime said, "You will not watch Rihanna. You will focus, and we will win the Super Bowl."
He did.
And at the end of the game, he's letting these guys celebrate with Kansas City Chiefs. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Are you too?
But the point is, are you going to drink more because they're promoting alcohol consumption? I'm going to say no, because you know what? We are adults. People have their own minds, and they are not your moral compass, like someone said earlier.
The story is, it's like this. The newspaper says this stupid little narc kid in the classroom.
Eric, you're hitting my point. I wasn't saying when we bring stories up, we don't want you to feel quote a certain way. We're just trying to make sure you're informed.
And then
we'll give our opinions. I just found it interesting the Kansas City Star did this to their own players. I don't know if it was because they received so many notes and emails, or if they were just trying to be relevant.
No, because
we've learned in life, a lot of people will create storms and controversy and start crap, and they won't go away because they want to be relevant. They want their name known, or they want something to be like, oh, I'm important.
Football, NFL is kind of like NASCAR, and liberal organizations understand that populist sports are Republican. Republicans go to football games and they tailgate, and this is their opportunity to take a stab.
Democrats go to sporting events, Eric.
Yeah, but this is
Chicago, New York, Atlanta.
Because Eric, they don't want anyone to have fun. The Kansas City is a very liberal publication. They don't want anyone to have fun. It's not even probably about politics. They see these people out there and they're having a good time. And they, if you, just like you were talking about comedy earlier and how comedy culture has been completely canceled out.
Bingo.
Well, so has fun, period.
Yep.
They don't want anyone to have fun or have a good time. They want you sitting, eating your crickets and keeping your mouth shut.
Yeah. By the way, did CNN eat crickets on the air one time that I'm not aware of? Because I saw a picture of Poppy Harlow eating a cricket.
I saw a video.
I just want to know if that's true or not. I don't
know if that's true. I saw a video of Nicole Kidman eating various worms and bugs.
I'll eat a chocolate cricket. I have no problem doing that. Should we do that on the show? Eric's looking at me like, what the hell did you
why don't
just
you do
say?
it on the show? I think you might be the only one doing it.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not going to stick with crickets, but I'd eat a chocolate cricket.
I'm not going to stick with crickets.
Please tell me you recorded that.
Well, the crickets, Eric, you're probably eating crickets and you don't even know, because when they label it on the labels, it's not called cricket. It has a scientific name.
I watched this thing it was like a 60 Minutes type show like 10, 12 years ago. And it was how much, I don't even know if I want to bring this up, but it's how much rat and insect body parts and excrement there are in your hot dogs.
human DNA is in our food.
One day later, I'm eating a hot dog at the baseball game.
You should never eat
it's like
you
just
should
don't
never
care.
eat a hot dog unless it's from Quick Trip.
But that's a different story, Eric.
Hot dogs are great.
Fillers have always been allowed. But what's happening now is we have, they truly are putting crickets, and they call it alternative protein, into your various food items, and they will not tell you.
Well, you know where they're going to have us well, if any of us go to Ohio, we're going to be eating bugs there because there is definitely something that was planned out. D on the chat line says that East Palestine, is that how we say it?
Palestine.
Yes.
They call it Palestine.
Rolled out the special ID in case of emergency just months before the chemical disaster.
It's all planned out.
It is all planned
First of
out.
all, we didn't get to this on Friday. We talked about it. Ohio, second largest producer of, guess what? Chicken eggs.
Yep.
Also a state very rich in minerals. And we know, you know what happens when you have a disaster like this? Guess what? The government comes in, they take over the land,
They take control.
and the next thing you know, a couple years later, they are mining it for natural resources.
And tomorrow, if we can do this, I know we didn't.
Well, we got Chanel. So we got Chanel at 9:00 from OAN tomorrow.
Yeah.
What else do you want to do?
I want to bring up Fetterman.
Oh gosh.
I want to bring up this clown and
Talk
how
about Prozac.
how abusive the Democrats are and his wife are
Yes.
to make this guy run for Senate to get a vote.
He's now in a hospital.
I want to.
Okay, we'll bring him up. Fetterman.
It's a step below Biden. They did the same thing to Biden. Biden should be on his
Which
easy
Biden?
chair.
Which Biden?
Joe Biden, the Joe Biden, the one that they're running out every single day.
Because you know what? There are many different Joe Bidens.
Now I don't know about that.
And if anybody, we probably don't have time before we leave today.
Yeah, we're
but-
gonna close it up right now.
Yeah, because
But I just say we should be on Fetterman watch. And what happens if an important vote comes in? Are they going to wheel his ass in there and just for a vote? That will show you how abusive the Democratic Party is to the people that are in their
it's all
gaggle.
It's all a sham, Eric. It's all a sham. I was so furious on my way in today because when we have a situation like in this country, the sham being played on American people with these dozen or so Joe Bidens, you know, there's no question. You can go to my personal Facebook page under Tabitha Hassel, and I posted the photos of Biden.
Yes, you did.
If you think about this,
we have to go over those after that.
We will have to at some
questions.
point. But I am telling you what, if they can scam us and sham us and tell us that this guy is our president, put him up on a podium to speak,
right?
And it's just some actor.
To your point,
that's what they're doing. To
your
us.
point, the one question that this country needed answered. We didn't need to know that he had a rash. We didn't need to know that he had some kind of spinal stenosis. The whole question that this country has about our president, right, Scotty, is he cognitively impaired? And we didn't get that in the report.
Who did they evaluate?
Get that in the
we'll
report.
never know. Is it the Joe Biden with the glue on his forehead to make him look old? Is it the Joe Biden we saw going to Ukraine?
Lizzie,
totally
help me
different
out.
Joe Biden.
Lizzie,
it's right.
Lizzie, help me out.
Scott, you're quick. He got.
There he is. Okay,
that's the Joe Biden with the glue on his forehead to make his forehead look old.
Well, their eyes and their ears
With
are totally different.
Totally different. His little beady eyes.
You know what? That does look.
And now that's the real Joe Biden who has re-emerged.
What?
Where was he?
Can I go get a coffee
Look
now?
at
I
the
can't
forehead.
take this on a Monday morning.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Look at the difference in the forehead.
Eric,
I can't take this
the
on a Monday,
second-
Vic.
That one right there looks like the Joe Biden from the 70s
That looks
and
like.
the 80s.
And who's this guy?
Some people say it's because he has dementia and a facelift, but I don't know. They look too different to me.
The Joe Biden right there with his forehead raised, that is not Joe Biden. I don't know who this guy is, but that is not Joe Biden.
Biden that whispers. Which one is the Joe Biden?
which
That
one?
one. The one that we see most often is not this guy. This guy is the one who I believe went to Kiev. And that's when they took this photo, because the real Joe Biden has to go to Ukraine because he's the only one that knows all the dirty work they did there.
That is
Tabitha,
right.
you need
Tabitha,
your own
you're
show.
right.
You need your own damn show. You
This
and
guy-
Lizzie should come in on a Saturday night and do a damn 2-hour show.
Now you're on Tabitha's side.
No, I just would listen. I would just listen. She's
you can listen to her every day.
She's like the Joe.
Right here.
She's like the Nori
Oh, my
of
God.
politics.
All right, I mean, seriously, check that out, people. I mean, look at that.
Yeah,
There's no way
something's
those are
so
the
weird.
same guy. It's
We've
just-
brought
it's not
pictures of him up.
possible.
This is at least the third time we've shown you different pictures of Joe Biden.
It's
yeah,
not
but you know what?
possible that's the
Here's
same
one thing
guy.
I'll say. Every picture of me on stage looks like a different person. Every single one of my pictures that I have ever had on stage, I don't even look like the same guy.
But your face isn't peeling off.
I don't look like the same guy.
You
at all.
You look like the same general person. Your ears are the same. Your nose is the same. If you don't have any wrinkles, but if you did, they'd be the same. Yeah,
you
your
haven't aged
Well,
since
wait a
the
minute.
80s, Eric.
How can you?
We got to get out of here, guys.
Oh, I don't.
These
How do you
two-
do that to us,
Eric,
Tabitha?
look at these photos carefully when you go home. I'm telling you, these are not the same people. And I have these posted on my personal Facebook page. If anyone wants to compare
And now
them,
there's
they're not the
supposedly
same person.
there's a whole community in Africa now that says that Obama was actually born over there.
That's right.
I'm
We're
I'm like,
gonna
my
see that
God,
soon.
come on,
We
people.
could go
talk about
on
it.
and on and on and on.
Guys, we appreciate you joining us today for Cancel This. That's for sure.
Tab and Liz every
CancelThisShow.com.
Saturday night.
Scotty, have a good trip. We appreciate it. Mr. Producer in-house.
Yeah.
As
Happy
well, coming up.
President's Day, everyone.
I
Come on
need
Lizzie
now, Lizzie.
Sparks,
Don't get on my bad side before the show's over.
Eric Johnson,
You better get Blevins on the air. I don't care what he's calling
Tabitha
himself.
Hassel, and I'm Vic Faust. Yeah, we hope to hear from you from your Florida destination. So
Yeah.
there you go, guys. Hey, check out our show. Share the show as well. We appreciate it. We appreciate the donations. When you can do that as well, just go to cancelthisshow.com. Chanel, Rion, tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Plus, Eric wants to get in a couple of these topics with Fetterman. We'll also put together another show. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Have a great day.
Tab and Liz.